Hey everyone, we are here live with a Frisch perspective and the Layman Apologist, joined by King Jim's Music today, and we're excited. We've had you on before, Ollie, but you're
Yep.
back with some new stuff to talk to us about, huh?
Great to be here. Great to be here. Thanks for having
Yeah,
me.
yeah. I can't wait to talk to you about. I found out this is your debut album. You've talked
It's,
about your music before, and I just assumed you had like done albums, but it turns out you've done EPs. But this is your debut album that we're going to be talking about today.
that's right.
That's awesome. So we'll get into that. I don't know if you know this, Ollie, but I've been taste testing food from England on the channel here because one of
Yeah,
the
I saw one of
viewers
your posts.
one of the viewers sent me a bunch of things. So you get
Classic.
to see my live reaction today
Classic.
to some
I
food
could
that
have.
I've
You had
never had.
the dandelion and burdock, I believe, on one. I was like, wow, I haven't had one of those since school. I didn't even know that they still existed. Like,
Yeah,
I
B&M
love
lad.
that drink.
I'm getting down to the end of what I was going to try. There's a couple that I'm going to try with my daughter, uh, but I have a few things here that I can try. So the skips and the scampi fries,
Oh, classic pub snack. Fantastic.
See,
and
what
then
did
a
I tell you, Tim?
whisper.
Whisper, not bad. Not bad. Do you know
And
what
then
you guys
a
need to do
drink.
with this or that? Like try American and British snacks. And oh, Vimto, yeah. Vimto's
We
good.
were meant to, but we were meant to do that, but Tony and the chat beat me to the punch and sending Tim stuff. So I was like, I'm going to let Tony send it. I'll send mine at a later date.
We now have a running joke because I sent Layman a moon pie, and
Ew,
he absolutely hates them. So so now I love to
they're
bring up
awful.
moon pies just
Well,
to
hold
just to.
on. Like, just so it's clear, I had like 90% of Americans agree with me that they're awful.
What's a moon pie?
Oh, bro, they're awful. Like, think of a really horrible tasting wagon wheel.
Yeah, I mean, I quite like wagon wheel.
Yeah, wagon wheels are nice. Moon pies, no.
Right.
They're chocolates, not chocolate, brother. Trust me, it tastes horrible.
I think I should send one to Ollie, and then maybe
Go,
he can
go,
write a
go
I
song
for it,
want to
about
because
be
it.
I know
part
what
of
his
this, this
reaction
and
will
that,
be.
man. I'm a foodie, but I want to I want to be part of this convo.
Yeah, I'd like to get a second opinion on the moon pies, and maybe he'd write a
Guarantee he
song
will be.
about it.
Moon pie.
Oh,
Tony said moon pies are
that,
vile. Do you know? It
that's
sounds like
Yep.
the kind of
you
thing
guys
that my
are
wife would like.
you guys are ganging up on against the moon pies here.
Your own Americans ganged up.
Anybody out there that likes moon pies? I think they're okay. I mean, I don't think they're horrible. They're not my favorite snack, but they're fine. Gee, the hatred for moon pies around here.
I got
Yep.
to ask you, Tim. Have you ever tried Marmite?
I've never had that.
Oh,
No.
brother, man, I'm gonna have to send you some Marmite. You know, like it's a spreadable. You spread it on toast with butter.
I've heard.
And have you heard of Marmite? It's,
I have definitely heard about it, and it sounds like
Oh
it's one
yeah,
of those
we've
things
discussed it.
that some people
love it
like
or
and some
hate it.
people do. Some people do not like it. By the
Yeah,
way, we do have a person affirming the moon pies.
my wife just said Marmite is awful. Right,
I mean, she's not wrong.
that's it. Do I have the power to remove people from this?
You don't know.
I couldn't
You're
do
not
that to
allowed
my
to
beloved.
remove your wife, if
No, I
that's what
couldn't
you're
do that.
asking.
Tony,
Uh,
I'm from London. I'm in London in England.
Tony, I guess
Tony's also England, by the way.
Oh,
Tony
brilliant.
gets to.
Yes, Tony. Marmite is the goat. Come on.
I think I'm going to just try everything because I only have a few things left. So which one should I go with first?
Scampy fries, mate.
Oh
It's
yeah,
gotta be.
Scampy.
Scampy fries. You ever had
Okay.
pork scratchings?
He hasn't.
Scampi flavor fries.
Oh, mate.
Scampi and lemon flavor cereal snack.
These
Cereal.
are.
That's
I
another
told him
cereal.
not
Well,
that type of cereal.
What's with cereal?
I wouldn't pour milk on that.
I know. Why do they call it cereal?
I don't know.
It does look like Captain Crunch or something.
I mean, if you want to try that in a bowl of milk, go for it. See, you laugh, Ollie, but I guarantee you, someone out there would
You'd
try
be
it and like it.
surprised. You'd be
Bro, I'll do it.
surprised what Americans have come up with, because I literally saw a cereal that was based on Sour Patch Kids, if you can believe it. It was
Oh,
called
man.
Sour Patch Kids cereal.
Yeah,
That's
I
America.
do
I
like
can
Sour
believe
Patch
it.
Kids, but I'm not surprised at anything that Americans make, to be honest with you.
Anyway, I'm going to mute my mic and chomp on this for a bit. So,
Cool, you do that.
Not even the topic of the conversation, and we already have a King James onlyist.
Oh, right. Come on.
Just
I was
see
wondering,
Tim's
what is that?
channel, King James.
Eat the word.
Do they have Cheez-Its in the UK? Yes.
In some stores, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm back. Oh, that's really good. Yeah.
That was quite quick.
What was that?
really
Was that what I was
you
supposed to say? Was I
Yeah,
supposed to
it's
say they're really good?
They are, yeah.
They are good. Yeah, for sure. Excellent. That's, and
These are
it's-
your traditional pub snacks.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know me, Mr. Hanging out in the pub kind of guy.
Hey, good family lunch. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, to be honest, again, very American. We do have like a place around here. I'm trying to think what it's called, but it's supposed to be like an Irish pub, and they have really good burgers and stuff. So I do go get burgers and stuff there, but I've never had these. So you said they do have Cheez-Its in the U.S.?
In the UK.
Yeah,
Yeah.
UK.
I mean, the UK. Of course they have them in the U.S.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not like super common though. They're not like, but we know what Cheez-Its are.
Do I try the Vimto now?
What other drinks do you have? Is it just Vimto
That's
left?
it. That's the only one left.
Oh yeah, well then go for it.
Yeah, Vimto's all right, man. The diluted one's better than the fizzy, in my opinion.
Meanwhile,
This
what
is
you
fizzy.
really need is Tango.
Tango. Huh. I remember a drink called Tang, but never Tango.
Now, what you need is the super malt. You ever had super malt? That's the drink.
Years ago, like years ago. That's real old fashioned, bro.
Well, I'm quite old fashioned, mate. I don't
Yeah,
really-
but like, what I mean is, like, did you grow up with that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
That was
that's
we-
what I mean. Like,
Weirder than I thought it was going to be.
describe
What is it? What is it? Like it has
Vimto,
fruit
brother.
on it. Why does it not just taste like fruit? What did they do to it?
I know. It's got a unique taste.
Yeah, it really does. I would expect dandelion and burdock to be a little unusual, but when something has fruit on the can, you would think it would just be a fruity soda. What is it? What? Well, in fairness, there's one fruit here that I'm not sure. It almost looks like it could be an olive.
Do you
It
reckon
doesn't
this-
have olive juice in it, does it?
There is olive juice in it. You can just drink it after you've had olives. You drink it from the jar. I don't do that, by the way.
No, it would.
mm-hmm.
That does not taste like olives. Fortunately, that would be
What's wrong
rough.
with olives? Olives are
Well, I
tasty.
mean, olive juice though.
So
with fruit.
if you had olives in a jar and you finished the olives, you wouldn't just drink the juice.
Okay, I have done that. But it's not
Exactly.
something that I would.
It's normal.
Yeah, you know, everyone's had a try, haven't it? It's like licking a battery. Like when you're a kid, everyone's licked a battery. You
Once
licked a
at least.
battery?
Well, maybe just you in that one, bro.
That's what this tastes like when you lick a battery. No. It's still pretty good. It just different, but so it's got grapes, raspberries, black currants.
Yeah.
It's
So
the
now
black
that
currant
you've-
probably that
Any
I'm
of
not
those in it.
recognizing.
Now that you've tried them all, Tim, what's your favorite?
Oh man, I can't remember now.
See, this is the problem with doing
So-
them weeks apart.
That's right. Well, I there's the dandelion and burdock. There was the iron brew, and then what was the other one? He'll remind me. Tony will remind me.
I think it was a tango.
Was it really?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
But
think
the
it was.
the
'cause I
dandelion and
think it was
burdock
the red colored
was up
can, and
there.
you were like, "Why is it red?"
Maybe, yeah, could have been.
Also, brother, you've just been disowned.
Yeah,
Oh
I've
no,
got to
what
say that
happened?
was when I was a kid. You know, them like square ones. Everyone's done it. There's someone in this comments that has done it.
Oh no, this was it. It was Tizer.
Tizer, they
Tizer,
still
that
do
was it.
Tizer. They still make Tizer, yeah.
Yeah, B&M's.
Wow, I haven't seen a Tizer since I was a kid. Wow, Tony's pulling out the
I've had a Tizer more recently than you, Ollie.
He used to have like a red head like on the advert, and he like Tizer.
All right, I got to keep going here.
I think
So
I
I've got
can
the
remember the ads, but
skips. Skips are
no, these were like
light and melty.
These were in every kid's like packed lunch
Oh,
for school.
you can't bite it. You cannot chew it. You got to let it melt on your tongue.
Oh,
Yep.
that's why it says light and melty.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why you have to let it melt on your tongue. Okay.
Yeah.
How quickly does it dissolve?
Hey, it might
Fairly
take a
quickly.
while, but you just can't choose it. You just sit there and let it melt.
Wow.
B&M.
It's like a potato chip that just dissolves in your mouth.
Yeah.
That's very
I'm telling
odd.
you, these were in every kid's packed lunch. That and a
yeah.
packet of Watsits.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, they're actually like all kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. There's a similar aspect to a lot of these snacks.
So what have you
Crunchy.
tried? What of all of the things that you tried?
Oh, I'll show you the picture. I do have the picture here so you can see all the stuff. There we go. So I had Monster Munch. Oh, sorry, Ollie. I'll get you back on here.
You just kicked Ollie off.
I didn't mean to kick you off. I forgot that I don't have your. Well, you saw it quickly, maybe.
Sorry.
I think you can still add him to the scene if you pull that up, but
I can. If you give me a second, I might be able to.
yeah, because like it's the same as mine. Like once the picture's up, just click his square and go.
That was the Tizer can.
Yeah, I remember it now.
You remember that, Nick?
Yeah. Because initially when you said redhead, dude, I was like, what?
Yeah, man. Tizer.
So, yeah, Monster Munch. A couple of bags of different types of Monster Munch. There was the pickled
Frazzles.
onion. Yep, frazzles. A pickled onion and
Beef.
the beef, right? Which I said I liked the beef a bit better. I think it was the pickled onion I wasn't expecting, like onion flavored. You know, we have Funyuns, which are onion flavored, but the pickled onion was a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's it. They're crisps.
one more thing is the Whisper Bar, and then
Whisper.
we're
And
gonna
then
move
when-
on. We're gonna move on and actually talk about music,
Yes.
because that's what we're actually here to do, not watch me eat stuff. All
I'm
right,
quite
first
enjoying watching you eat
first
stuff.
time I've ever had a Whisper Bar.
I guarantee he likes this one. A Nicholsworth Bible review. My daughter
Yep.
just got back from Ireland.
It's almost
Yeah.
as good. It's almost as good as a moon pie.
No, don't insult it. But going back to a Nicholsworth comment, there must be a group that's currently over in Ireland at the moment, because I had a brother comment on my ex last night too that said his daughter was currently on a missions trip in Ireland. She was staying for one last night before she goes home, which would be today. So I wonder if she's with the same group.
I missed that. What were you commenting? What were you commenting on?
Tim Nichols' comment, his daughter just got back from Ireland.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Good to see you,
Yeah.
Nichols.
But I was
Yeah.
saying there was another brother commented to say that his daughter was spend one last night in Ireland as well on a mission trip. So I wonder if there was like a group that was out.
The Whisper Bar is great. It's so interesting how like we have candies that are similar, but they're a little bit different because it has like a whipped, almost like a whipped inside. But we have what we call Three Musketeers, which is like a whipped inside, but it's just different. It definitely has a bit of a different texture.
We have that though.
Yeah, I know.
Three
We do.
Musketeers.
Do you
Yeah.
call it Three Musketeers?
I know it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you guys don't, Tony, maybe let me know, but maybe you guys don't have it in England, but we have it. It's not, I wouldn't say it's one of the more popular ones, but yeah, we definitely have it.
Three Musketeers.
And the Vimto's growing on me, I have to say. Yeah. Pretty good, pretty good. So Nichols said that I guess the trip was with Campbellsville University. Yeah.
Yeah, may well be the very same thing then, so I'm not too sure.
And then Tony says that Three Musketeers is like a UK Milky Way.
Right.
Like
But
it.
see, Milky Way here is not anything like a Three Musketeers.
No, yeah, you guys have very... What's the other one? Yeah, like, if Ollie and I were to talk about Smarties, you guys have in mind what we actually call love hearts, like candy hearts. That's what your Smarties are.
What?
That's what gets so confusing when you talk
No
about.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I discovered this a while ago, Ollie. Like, I was talking to another American about, liking Smarties, and they were like, "Oh, I love Smarties. We have Smarties over here." Me, under the illusion that they were the Smarties we have, I was like, "Oh yeah, like the chocolate, with the
Yeah.
coated outside," and they were like, "No," and they showed me a picture of them, and I was like, "That's Love Hearts."
Love Hearts are nice
Yeah.
though.
Not compared to Smarties.
What about Parma Violets? Cool, I love some Parma
Oh,
Violets.
they're old school. They're the wee tiny ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're banging.
I'm going to show you what Smarties look like here, just so you have reference. If I can get it up here. These are our Smarties.
That is nuts. What?
Told you.
That can't be the same.
All the Americans are like, of course that's what Smarties are, but they have a different definition of
Whole different
Smarties.
thing. Wow.
You said they're
Do you know
love
what it's like?
hearts?
They're our version of what Love Hearts are. So, Love Hearts
Okay.
is that exact candy, but with like little "I love you" or "your mine" phrases written on them.
Yeah.
They're popular more around Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything like this?
Yeah, Love Hearts.
What? Okay, I'm confused now. You said
Your
that
Your Smarties right now on screen.
Yeah.
Those are our Love Hearts.
Yeah, well, we have love hearts too, though. They're different.
Well, what's your
What?
Love Hearts then?
Our love hearts are, they're hard candies that are shaped in hearts and have messages on them. Is that what yours are?
Yeah, that's ours.
Okay.
Yeah.
These are a little bit more, I would say, smoother and more sour, actually. So I don't know that you have anything quite like this.
I've tasted these before,
Okay.
but they would still
They
be
remind you
essentially
of-
what are.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, just so the audience knows, my camera today is going to cut in and out. It's just I think the camera's overheating, so bear with me. I'll be in and
What's
out.
the temperature in Ireland?
Oh,
right now?
I don't know, and I'm being serious. Don't even start me on this topic today. I have dealt with too many people being idiots. So it's roasting over here. I don't know what temperature it is with Ollie, but I am not getting into it.
It's 18 degrees right now, so it's cool.
Sorry. I won't ask.
Trust me, it's been a long day off it, and I
I
almost
know.
lost my temper.
I
with multiple
I saw
people.
you said you were logging off of X because you were yeah.
Wasn't just to do with that. There was other things too, but
Okay.
I don't like talking about it too much because I feel like I'm insulting Americans as a whole. But there is a certain subsection of Americans that believe they are right on absolutely everything, and it's just like,
Oh dear.
Moving on.
So just
exactly.
okay, so just more input about candy here from Tiffany. USA Love Hearts are wintergreen flavored and feel like chalk. Absolutely nasty. Smarties are more like sweet and tart and are okayish. We also have sweet tarts here.
You just need to get her Smarties, and then that way you'll be happy.
I'm wondering if sweet tarts is more what you're talking about. But what she said,
No.
that's what I think of as candy hearts. They're chalky. They're kind of chalky.
They are, but yeah. But what I'm saying to you is, your actual Smarties. We do get them over here in like bulk bags. They're not sold separately, so most people don't get them. So if I was to give someone one of those minus the texture difference and the sourness of them, if you said to them what is that, they would say it's a smaller version of a love heart, because that's what they're comparing it to.
Well, we gotta shift away. I mean, it's great seeing the comments here, but I really want to make sure we're giving Ollie time to talk about music. So, so tell us, what's the album? When is it coming out? And we'll play some samples too. So tell us a little bit about what your project is about here.
So yeah, the album is called Nexus. Oh, for those that are wondering why my title here says King Jims, but these guys are calling me Ollie. King Jims is King Jesus is my savior, and he is the center focus to all that I create. And yeah, the album is called Nexus. It's coming out on Friday, and it's drum and bass. I'm proclaiming Christ over drum and bass music, which is quite unique in the sense that there's hardly there's not much of that out there. And so yeah, there's going to be 13 tracks on the album, and drum and bass is quite a broad umbrella. There's lots of subgenres within that. So there's different expressions and different kind of vibes.
Yeah.
Some are really mellow, some are really like hype in throughout that album. Yeah.
What you call drum and bass, like that originated in London or something?
Yeah, originated in the UK. I can't remember exactly quite where, but it's been a part of our culture.
London Underground mainly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's had a strong presence in Kent and also Bristol as well over here in the UK. But yeah, very much an underground sound, which it's EDM sound, electronic dance music. It stemmed off from a genre called jungle, and yeah, came very prominent in the 90s. And it's always like someone asked me the other day, is drum and bass becoming more popular now? And I it's always kind of always kind of been there. It's always been popular, but it's quite a niche genre that has had a bit more, I guess. It's been a bit more in the mainstream of previous years, where some people have kind of done a one-off song or whatnot.
Okay.
But I think a lot of
Yeah.
people in the UK can appreciate the sound. It's also in that underground culture. It's also associated a lot, unfortunately, with a lot of like drugs, raving, and so that's the kind of dark side of it. And we're looking to kind of bring the light of Christ into those places. But also in general, there's also a real kind of summer aspect to drum and bass, where in the summer you'll hear people release kind of like party happy kind of songs. So there's a real broad expression.
So are
No.
there? Oh, go ahead, Layman.
No, go. You finish your thought, and then I'll say mine.
I just my question was like, are there quite a few other Christian artists, or are you like very rare to be like a Christian artist doing this music?
It is quite a rarity. So it's not like where there's loads of Christian hip hop or Christian alternative music, or where
Yeah.
you've got loads and loads and people coming out of the woodwork all the time. This is, if you listen to this music, you know every artist that is involved in it. This is very much something that we're trying to. So there's a few of us, a few friends that we're coming together. We're doing this. We're making music. I mean, as a Christian, I was for a long time. I've been a Christian now for 12 years, and for a long time, I really wanted to hear something that had, just something that can, glorify God and worship on the 174 BPM, and could never find anything with that expression. Um, but yeah, couldn't ever really find them. You find like one or two tracks here and there, and there have been people that have done it. Christians that have made drum and bass. A lot of it sometimes just instrumental, But there have been some there that have actually done explicit kind of Christian lyrics on it, but it's very few and far between. So I wouldn't want to say that there's never been, but really,
Mm.
where we're focusing on this and trying to push it out there, this is really much, I guess, like a few people really pioneering this, to want to see more people get involved with this sound, and use it for God's glory.
Cool.
So Tony said the track that he liked of mine is "When I Wake Up." So that's not actually a drum and bass track. That's one of my trap rock tracks. So just to let people know, I have done quite a few different genres of rap style, but for the past coming up to 3 years now, drum and bass has been my focus of where I've been.
Mhm.
And are all the songs on the album Nexus drum and bass, all of them?
All of them are drum and
Yeah.
bass. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Layman, you were going to say something?
Well, yeah, but I'll maybe save it until we play his first sample because it'll
Okay.
relate more to that anyway. So
Now, were you writing music before you became a Christian?
Right. So I had some bars, I had some lyrics, but it was more like it was just the kind of thing where a lot of people did. I'd be hanging out with my friends as a teenager, would be getting high or something, and you
Mm.
would just have some lyrics that you'd pull out. Do you know what I mean? So never, I wouldn't have classed myself as that. Oh, I'm an artist.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I wasn't releasing music. I had like a couple of little tracks that I'd recorded with friends just for personal use and that. But yeah,
That surprises me, actually. Like, how did you find out you had the talent? And like, did someone hear you doing something and was like, oh, you should definitely record?
do you know what? So when I got saved, there were quite a few Christians around me who made music, and naturally, I just started to write. I didn't really think about it. I just started to write lyrics, and they weren't really good. It took me quite a while to try and learn, and I still am learning. I've got a lot to learn, but
Mm.
I'd like to think that the craft has certainly developed. These 12 years on.
That's awesome. Now, before we play your samples here, I do have a little reference here that I was just wondering, like, you mentioned before we went live that I'm wearing this hat here. It says Sox. It's the White Sox. It's a baseball team. Do you have any idea what city they might be from? I'm just seeing if the UK guys can guess.
So the Red Sox is Boston,
Well,
right?
You got it. The Red Sox is
The
Boston.
White Sox, I don't know.
Anybody out there want to, especially if you're not from the U.S., I'll give you a chance to guess here. It's a city, though. It is a
Well,
big city.
yeah, I was gonna say
Not
there's
New
no
York-
point
not
in me
New York.
saying because you asked us the last time we were on too, so it'll be cheating if I say it.
Oh, okay. I've already asked.
Chicago.
You got it. Yep.
That
Yep.
was
Tony got it.
Tony.
Yep.
Do
But
any Americans know what team
I've
this
already
is?
asked before. I just keep forgetting what I've done. I mean, this is a recurring theme. I can't remember anything. So we'll probably have to have you on next
Yeah,
week because I won't even remember this
Think,
interview.
I think we need to get Tim some help here.
Maybe it's all these UK snacks are affecting my.
Yeah.
All in your memory.
I'm a grandfather. I think maybe it's just my age. All right. With that, we're gonna listen to some of your music here. So which one do you want me to start with? Because we've
Yeah,
got.
start with that one at the top. Yeah. Start
Okay.
with that one.
So what's this one? What's this from?
This is CHRIST, which I use as an acronym in the song for Christ has redeemed incredible sinners totally.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna click it, and it might need to be unmuted. So just let me see if I can. Oops.
Every time that I jump on the mic, it's about CHRIST. I get praise on the hardest beats, all other topics can't compete. That's because my Lord is elite, all of the peeps are gonna fall at his feet. And he's all that they see, they will see that he is the one that is controlling the seas. He's over the oceans, course the only one that I hope in. So many people don't even know him yet, is the soul that he's holding. When I come against him, must be joking.
Very brief clip there.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, this is what we want. We want little samples, so if
Mhm.
people are interested, they can check it out. Now, what we didn't get to yet, because Tony said he was listening earlier, but Ollie, where can people get this whenever it does drop?
Yeah, all streaming platforms. Yeah, Spotify, Apple Music. Yeah, any of those. Amazon, YouTube Music.
YouTube Music. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just listening to that, it's like some very rapid fire lyrics for sure.
Not all of them are like that. I've got some more that are very subtle, and I'm doing like a halftime flow as well. So there are more laid back.
Oh, good, because for an old guy like me who can't even remember anything, I need time to process the lyrics.
That's why you play it over and over again. That way you get familiar with it.
That's
All
it.
right. Next one down here. This one.
Yep.
All right, we'll try this.
Now, what's this one before you play?
Yeah, what's this one called?
This one's called Know What I'm On. And this is basically just like really just says it like this is what I'm on, glorifying Christ. That's basically, yeah.
Oh, and where are you here? Like, where's that?
I am in Lewisham in southeast London.
Okay. Now, are these like really recognizable places to people out there?
That place probably
Fairly.
not so much. That's if you live in Lewisham, you might know that little spot there. Yeah.
Okay.
The other place was just a car park.
The car park. All right, I'll keep playing it.
Holding the mic, they don't know what I'm on. I'll give glory to Christ while I'm singing these songs, cause he's the Lord of my life and he's never been wrong. So I praise him, yeah, I gotta praise him. When I'm holding the mic, they don't know what I'm on. I'll give glory to Christ while I'm singing these songs, cause he's the Lord of my life and he's never been wrong. So I praise him, yeah, I gotta praise him. Now I'm on the mic.
Awesome.
Nice.
So they sound good. What like do you have other people that actually help create it, or is it like just a solo thing where you're able to do all of it?
Yeah, so I don't create the beats myself. Like I'll have to purchase the instrumentals from producers that have created them, and but all of the lyrics I write. And there's some songs that have there's a few songs on the album that have featured artists on there as well. I think there's about 6 of the songs have features. No, 5 of them, and then eight of the songs are solo. So
Okay, so you have other artists that come on
Yeah.
with you. You're saying,
yeah.
and you said there's not a whole lot of them, so you have the entire genre covered in your album.
I don't have everyone. I haven't. Not everyone's featured on the album, but yeah, there's a few of us, and it's really cool, man. We've started to do some events in London as well. We had
Ooh.
one in December, and it was quite an interesting one because a friend of mine had put on this event, but the way that she'd done it is that she done like a secular event with real well-known drum and bass pioneers from the 90s, but she had a gospel presence on there, which was clear also on the advertising. So it weren't like we're trying to deceive people. Hey, come to this rave, and then hit them with the gospel. You
Bait
know,
and switch. Yeah.
yeah. And so, however, some people did make some remarks when they did hear the gospel there, but overall, there were more people that were really quite encouraged by it. So there was a prayer box at this event, and at the end there were 46 prayer requests at the end, and people were able to have good conversations, and yeah, like we were able to glorify Christ in a place where some people were on drugs. There's all different kinds of things going on. And so I mean, and I say this to people, I wouldn't recommend just anyone go to these events, because it could be a real stumbling block
Yeah.
to people. And so for me, it took 13 years before I'd ever gone to anything like this as a Christian. But it was quite amazing for me to see in a culture that I was steeped in, very much always intoxicated and whatnot.
Yeah.
I didn't even need to have a drink of alcohol, and I could be there worshiping my Lord, just directly whilst proclaiming Christ to people, which was quite an incredible thing, and it sparked up conversation. And what I find so interesting is that a lot of people who take some sort of substance are quite open to the reality that there is a spiritual realm, because their
Mm.
experiences have been quite dark and probably even demonic.
Yeah.
And they would even say that, and I don't really throw around them terms willy-nilly, but that is the reality in a lot of these kind of cultures. And so some people are quite interested in talking about a higher power, which we can put the lens on and put the light on that and say who that is.
Mm.
A bit like Paul in the Areopagus. Let me tell you who this unknown statue
Yep.
is. And
Yep.
so
Mm.
it's something where before, I guess young as a Christian, I would have been like, nah, not going there. That's sinful. No, keep me away.
Mm.
To now where it's actually like where, oh yeah, I can go into these places and really be a light and connect with people in a different way. Where the commonality is the sound,
Mhm.
and my expression is different to theirs, but they might be able to appreciate the craft and the art, and therefore meet in a relatable way. And it's been really interesting because we've even had testimony. I mean, one guy at this particular event, he grabbed the mic off me and he was like, "Oh, this tune changed my life." And he's a Christian now. He is a
Oh.
Christian. He listens to this song. It's one that actually my wife featured on. It's called "Running," and it's talking about running away from the Lord, but how He pursues us. And I was talking about how the temptation to just go out and just get drunk and whatnot, but instead I try to seek the Lord. And this guy was relating to these lyrics as someone that was really struggling with
Oh.
alcohol addiction, and now he is actually a born again Christian who recently got baptized. And there's another testimony of the first drum and bass track I did was with a brother called Angler and another brother called Saros, and it's called Depraved, and it was talking about how no one is good but God, only God is good.
Mm.
And the lyrics are very clear about that. And like Angler was a drum and bass MC in the world before being a Christian, and so he's very much like in that community. And he was saying that he told me this story where his friends were getting on cocaine one
Mm.
night and they're just playing some drum and bass music, and they put on that song, and his mate was like rang him up, like I think if I remember correctly, he was in tears, going, "Mate, what is this? What is this song, mate?
Oh.
It's scaring me. What do you mean? Like, why
Wow.
are you saying?" Like it freaked him out in a sense,
Wow.
Uh, and so it's really
Huh.
interesting. I think for me, like I said to you guys, that I've done a lot of different sounds in the past, but the reason for that was more that I really didn't quite know my sound. I was
Mm.
searching for a sound. Also, I guess I didn't really have quite a serious view of music, and my view of creativity as a whole has really developed in the sense where I see creativity as a really, really important expression, and an apologetic for the existence of God, in the sense that we, made in His image, create as He creates. And with that, my thinking on music as a whole has really developed that this is really, really important. And we see like there's a whole book of songs in the Bible, and so, seeing this as a way to just glorify God, if no one else listens, I write these songs. I write these songs as praise. I write them as expressions of prayer. I've got a song called "How Long," actually with an American producer called Trafra, and that song's based on Psalm 13. Like, how long, Lord? How long
Mm.
will you forget me forever? How long will you
Mm.
hide your face from me? I got another song called "He Sees," which is a song of me actually writing to myself, encouraging myself in the
Mm.
gospel, and that how the Lord sees me with
Yeah.
with, with the look of love in
Mm.
times of doubt.
Mm.
And so people remember songs more than they remember a sermon, and that's not to diminish sermons in any way, but the world aren't listening to sermons. And I
Mm.
just hope that I can glorify God, encourage the saints, and hopefully God might
Yep.
save some souls on the way as well.
Well,
I
you
mean,
actually kind of went into where I wanted to go with my question anyway, is it's not just music for you, like you actually do this out on the street with people as well.
Yeah,
So there's times where you're out street preaching or you're doing evangelism, but you also incorporate the music in that. And there
yeah.
are some videos of that on your Instagram, by the way, so if anybody wants to go see that, they can go see it.
Mm,
And it's a unique way for the culture, pretty
yeah,
much like you said, like London's a lot like what my location's like.
hmm.
The majority of the population aren't going in church doors. So hearing the gospel being presented through music on the street
mm,
is often less intimidating than someone getting up on a soapbox and yelling that everybody's going to
yeah,
hellfire if they don't repent. So if you want to talk to the audience a little bit about that, like
yeah.
what your work looks like in that realm as well.
Yeah. So I think the cool thing about the way that we minister on the street is the music sometimes will draw in a crowd. And after two or three songs, then one of us will preach, share the gospel while other people are handing out tracts, and that's kind of something that we do a lot.
Hmm.
But even a testimony that's come from this is that, um, at one time I was doing this in a place called Catford, in London. It's quite a rough area. I mean, just to give you a taste of it, I was in a cafe yesterday and saw a guy chasing another guy down the street with a machete, right where I do evangelism. And the guy that happened to be getting chased was a guy that was being verbally abusive to me the week before because, well, he asked me what I thought of Muhammad. But anyways,
Yeah.
and so in this place, one time I was sharing some music. I had one of my tracks called Mate, and the lyrics are, I just want to see you saved, mate. I want to see
Hmm.
you up in heaven when we vacate. I want to see you giving praise to the Ancient of Days before it's late. Turn to Him, and that's your fate, mate. So it's a very evangelistic message, and that's just the chorus. And the verse, I talk about Christ, his crucifixion, and this guy stops. He's on like one of these kind of old school silver chopper bikes, and he stops and he's listening and he's nodding his head. Now I don't have the chance to speak to him while I'm emceeing, but one of the other people spoke to him,
Hmm.
and he started going to their church
Right.
from that, and he's been there since last year February, and he also now goes out on the doors with them every Thursday to share the gospel with the neighbors in that community.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great. So, how often do you do these kinds of events? I mean, I know you've been involved in an evangelistic organization, I think, right?
Yeah, I am.
So,
I'm full-time
yeah.
missionary.
Hmm.
So I am a full-time missionary, but with the focus of equipping churches. So when we see that the gifts in Ephesians, we see evangelist. It says for the equipping of the church.
Hmm.
Oftentimes the evangelist we can see maybe as a lone wolf, or maybe even a maverick that goes
Hmm.
out and just does it, and but we see the evangelist, yes, goes out and shares the gospel, but equips the church to do the
Equips the
same.
church. Yeah.
And so I am in the boroughs of Lewisham and Southwark, southeast London, going to some areas that are quite notorious. And my specialism focus is reaching out on to council estates and seniors. So council estates, maybe like the projects.
Mm.
Sorry, there's some fireworks going off outside.
Sorry, I had a motorcycle that drove by earlier and made really loud
Yeah.
noise. So,
There's some kids that let off fireworks in the park just right outside where I live, man. At times it's actually quite
They're
annoying.
just celebrating your album launch, bro.
Yeah, and maybe Arsenal winning the Premier League. Just thought I'd drop that in there.
ooh.
But yeah, no, what's it? So the work that I do, I'm partnering with churches across these boroughs, and we'll be in partnership, say for a year, maybe two, if it requires a longer time, and we train up just regular people to go out onto the streets, evangelize, to be praying for their area, do prayer walks, and to be knocking on doors and sharing the gospel with your neighbors. And so we'll do some training. We'll take people out. They can shadow us, see how we do it. Then we watch them and help them to train up others. And
That's good.
that's what I do full time.
Wow.
So I do this week to week, and then when we do street evangelism, I might bring some music depending on the area. And yeah, so if anyone's interested in keeping up with what I do and that, I do send out a regular prayer letter, or you can look at lcm.org.uk, type in Ollie Sherwood, and sorry, I'm just laughing. Tony celebrating West Ham getting relegated. Yeah, you can type in Ollie Sherwood, and you can request my prayer letter that way, and then you can be kept up to date with the ministry that I'm involved in.
Yeah, and if you don't know what LCM is, it's London City Mission.
Yeah,
So
brilliant. Thank you, Layman.
That's great. Yeah. So you do evangelism as like a full-time ministry, but then these concerts, are they are they part of that work officially speaking, or is it kind of a separate thing you do?
So yeah, the concert is a separate thing with just a group of friends. So that's something that's very, very new. Yeah, London City Mission. Yeah, that's right, Tony. Without the S on missions, London City Mission. But yeah, I mean, with doing music in the street, that's just something that we
Yeah.
just do evangelistically. But
That's cool.
yeah, with concerts, there's a couple of friends that are doing it, going out into more of the secular areas. I'm hoping at maybe some at a later stage to do a gospel focused, just drum and bass gospel focused concert. I do see the mix with the secular to be quite helpful in an outreach way, but I also want to just provide something for Christians that they can enjoy this genre as well in that way. So there's different kind of ideas in very early stages with this. But I'm in a particular group collective, and this doesn't cover the whole of the Christian expression over the drum and bass genre, but the particular collective I'm in is called Gospel D&B. Does what it says on the tin. And yeah, we've got some merch that we'll be releasing at some point as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. So is drum and bass like popular? I'm kind of wondering because we've got you guys from different places here. Like, has it spread to like other parts of the UK, or is it more just like kind of in a smaller circle?
So drum and bass is very popular, I guess. Like yeah, a lot of I would say drum and bass is it's one of the genres actually that spreads across generations, which is quite interesting because so my brother, who's 14 years older than me, got me into drum and bass because he was around in the raves in the 90s, which I was too young for that, And so you got people that are now in their 40s, 50s, 60s. So, for instance, in this event that we put on, you got people in their 20s, you got people in their 60s, and so it's quite interesting. Now, is it popular in the mainstream as like pop is? No, but it's still got a very strong culture that it's gonna within drum and bass. So even that's quite an interesting place to go down actually. My brother loves drum and bass. I love drum and bass. Yet the type of drum and bass that we listen to is quite different to one another. So you got jump up drum and bass, which is really quite out there. You got liquid drum and bass, which is more relaxed, soulful sort of style. You got minimal drum and bass. There's so many different kind of subgenres to it. But what's quite interesting with the gospel drum and bass is I have a lot more popularity in America than I do in the UK. And I am wanting to build up my UK fan base more. And I was thinking, why is this? And I could only put it down to this, where over in America, Christians have embraced EDM, electronic dance music as a whole. Now, EDM as a whole, I'm not much of a big fan of, but drum and bass kind of sits as a subgenre underneath that. And so I think because the EDM has been embraced so much, they've really taken us in and welcomed us, and they've given us platform for the music, whereas EDM doesn't really have a presence over here, Christian EDM in the UK.
Okay.
And so therefore, it's hard to kind of get that support and the promotion of putting on music on playlists in that way. But what's interesting is that those who have been welcoming of this music, the gospel D&B, have actually been a lot more secular listeners than Christians even. And now I didn't have that before. when I was just doing Christian rap in general. And so that's really interesting, and also quite complimentary in a sense, because it's like, okay, this isn't cheesy. Sometimes, you know, the world might hear and think, oh, that's just a cheesy, that's just a trying to keep up with what the world's doing or whatnot. But actually, people listen to it, actually like, oh right, I can listen to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I know. Sometimes people have it in their head that Christian music is kind of a step below what secular artists do, but I have not found that to be the case. There's a kind of a funny story that I remember watching a video. Sorry to go off on a tangent, but it made me think of it. This video about a guy who was kind of making that point. He claimed that the Christian music was copying like popular, but he used an example, and I researched the music he used, and it turned out the Christian song that he said was mimicking the secular song was written before the secular song. So actually the Christians were kind of, you know, the ones that set the trend in that particular case. And I think, yeah, it sounds like what you're saying is resonating with people. You know, you have a real talent. You have a real talent.
Well, the first rappers were Christians in the it was the 1940s, I think, the Jubilees.
Wow.
They had a song about Noah and the ark, and it was like soulful, but it was rap. You know, yeah, so we definitely, there is, you're absolutely right that a lot of people don't realize, and even, you know, a lot of like kind of music that has been inspired by old gospel songs, and, you know, old spiritual songs.
That's right.
That, you know, blues and, you know, all different kinds, reggae music is taking inspiration from. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's such a good point. Cool. Now, yeah,
Tim,
are you going to say
just
something? Layman?
Yeah, just before you go on, I put all these links in the chat, but I don't think your chat allows links unless you approve it. So,
I don't see anything asking me to approve it, though, unfortunately. But maybe I can just try it.
Well, I was going to say, do you see my comment?
I do not.
You don't?
No, I don't see it. Is it in the? Yeah, I don't.
Do you see between Tony's two comments? So he says LCM, then there should be one from me, and then another one from Tony.
No, I don't see it either.
Yeah, it's not showing up on you guys then, because yeah, your chat doesn't allow it. Well, here, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll private send it to you.
Yeah, and then I can maybe share it since I'm.
Yeah, you posting it will allow it, so it's in the private chat.
I can do anything I want on this stream.
He's got the power.
That's right. You were asking about me. You were asking about kicking people out of the comments. I do have the power to do that. We've done it before. we've unfortunately had to do it, right, Layman? We did have one. We had one instance where someone had to be removed from the comments, I think.
Oh yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah. Very rare it happens in this chat, but occasionally it does.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Okay, there we go. It finally worked.
Wow, brilliant.
Yeah. See, only mods in your channel, as Sealy said, would be allowed to do that. So.
And Sealy also said that she likes Skillet. Have you ever listened to Skillet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've listened to Skillet. I quite like rock music.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm into POD, Sleeping Giant. Yeah, some of those ones.
No.
Yeah.
Well, if you have a stronger question, go ahead. But I was just going to ask.
I was just going to say I've heard Skillet, but go ahead.
Yeah. Once your album launches, what's the plan with it? Are you planning on maybe doing any like local concerts, or are you doing any like many tours with it, or?
Yeah. So, yeah, at the moment, like I'm just got a couple of events. I haven't got anything that's focused solely on my album at the moment. You know, yeah, we've had quite a lot going on as a family of recent. It's been some challenging times. I'd appreciate, actually, I could say, I'd really appreciate your prayers, all who are watching. My wife, a few weeks ago, last month, had a heart attack. This is soon after us having our second daughter. It's just such a wonderful blessing. But this is obviously, it takes a time of healing, and yeah. I my mind hasn't been so much in that place of doing like an album launch
Yep.
event. I want to be very much present for my family at the moment, and just trust the Lord that however He wants to use the music, He will.
Yeah.
I'm definitely aware that that does require, under His sovereignty, some human responsibility, and putting out there in the right places, but also trust that the Lord can, do what He will want to do with that.
Well, this
Yeah.
is part of it too, and like Tony even said here, like he's already sent your link to his church.
Mm,
I forget whether he said church youth leaders or leaders in general. But a good way for people to support you then would be, even if this is not their particular genre of music,
mm.
help spread the word. It's dropping in Friday, correct?
Yep, yep.
Yep.
Friday.
And you can get it across all streaming platforms. So download it, support them, and yeah, pass the word out.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, and Tony, my wife's name is Sandra. Yeah, thank you so much.
Hmm.
We've had a couple people mention the band Petra, but that was an older band. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of them. I don't know their music, but I think I'm familiar
Not
with
only
it.
are they not only were they popular a long time ago, but they were around for like very long. I want to say the band started in the 70s and continued to be pretty popular for at least to the 90s.
I think they went up to the 2000s.
Yeah, probably 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, so you know Layman.
I listen to a wide scope of music. Not everything's my cup of tea, but yeah, I like my older stuff. I like a lot of 80s and 90s music. So
That's awesome. Well, did you say, Ali, that your wife was on one of your
Is
songs?
Oh,
so if you
she's on. So on the album, she's on a track called "Running."
Cool.
Yeah, she's got a wonderful voice, my wife. "Running" has already is one of the songs that has already been released, but it will be on the album as well, so people can actually already listen to that and enjoy my wife's singing. She's a real
well,
blessing. She's also been on a track of mine called "More Than Enough." But we also had actually an EP
favorite.
that we did. Oh, thanks, bro. Yeah, we had an EP called Battles and Blessings.
Well, that's
Uh,
what I was going to say, Tim. That is on his Instagram. If you want to pull that up, that way you could hear both Ollie and Sandra. So if you go to his Instagram and just find Battles and Blessings, I'm sure you have
oh
a
man,
few.
that's gonna be years down though, Layman. No,
Really, I don't think it'd be that far back.
oh man,
Right,
that's far down, bro. I don't even know where that is. You'd be better off going on
you two
Spotify.
talk and I'll look for it, sure.
Okay. That's funny. I like how you guys say it, battles and blessings.
Yeah, Battles and Blessings.
Battles and blessings.
Yeah.
I was telling my wife jokingly that I was going to be on with guy with an Irish accent and a guy with a English accent, and then me,
Sounds like the start of a joke, doesn't it?
and then me who doesn't have an accent.
Oh, you have an accent?
Yeah,
Or...
yeah. You've got the
I know.
strongest accent out of all of us.
I want to hear in the chat. Do I have an accent? There's probably a majority Americans here, but I know some of you are from England.
Right, so I'm going to mute just 1
Of
second
course,
here. Don.
Colton's from Texas, so I probably do have an accent to him. Colton, you actually sound pretty similar to. You don't. I don't think of you, Colton, as having, if you're still there, as having like a. Okay, he said northern accent. I don't think of you, Colton, as having like a strong Texan accent, though. Never heard you say howdy. Next time he gets on with us. Howdy, guys.
My wife said you certainly have an accent. I don't know if she's talking about you or me there. I think she's
Definitely you. No, I'm sure she means me. Yeah, I mean, obviously we all have accents based on. And then yes, Nichols, he's embracing his southernness. Definitely, you have an accent from the south there, Nichols. Yeah.
So, Tim, I sent you the YouTube video of it if you want to bring it up. That way you can get a longer
And
play.
howdy from Leslie. Yes, I think she's. She's. Yeah. Okay, you got a YouTube link there.
I sent it to you in the private chat, yeah.
Okay.
Which one did you send, Layman?
Running.
Oh, running. Oh, yeah. Cool.
All right, let me get it up here. Oh, and it's doing the ad first, so I'm letting the ad play through, and then we'll show the song.
Unless
Okay,
it's
so
an ad for all these albums.
this has you and Sandra on it.
Yeah. Sandra and a friend of ours called Blazer.
Sorry, Sandra.
But
That's
Sandra,
my accent coming through there.
she goes by the name of Kuzi on this as her artist name because my wife's actually from Zimbabwe, and Kuzi is short for Kuzivakwashe, which is her Zimbabwean name.
Very cool. All right, well here it is. You want us to just go ahead and play the whole thing?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
And then when it's done, if you have any other things you want to mention before you're done, I know we're over an hour here, and we want to make sure you leave whenever you want to.
Cool, thank you, man.
Lord, I keep running away from you, but you keep calling me home. Thoughts in my mind pulling me away instead of turning to you. I know that you are never too far, you never let me go. Lord, I wanna come
So I've been laying here, facing fear, feeling like the way ain't clear. Satan's near, saying I ain't real and I've been fake for years. I feel the temptation to meet up with my mates for beers. Instead I choose to stay at home to pray and cry a lake of tears. But Lord, when I try to talk, I pause because I fight with force. My mind distorts, feel like I'm in a war and I'm a dying Lord. But I know that I am yours, by grace I'm on my feet. Cause Jesus saved my soul, so I ain't gonna taste defeat. My Lord, you've made me see the wages of my sin ain't free. But now I am at liberty, I've seen in Romans 6:2-3. For you have lifted me out of the miry clay and gifted me with Jesus, he's the reason why we pray.
Lord, I keep running away from you, but you keep calling me home. Thoughts in my mind pulling me away instead of turning to you. I know that you are never too far, you never let me go. Lord, I wanna come home.
Ups and downs within this battle, yeah, I fall and rise. Got cut my shackles and he taught me to abhor the lies. But the temptery ain't coming in a poor disguise. He's torn my mind, feels like every day he gives me more to fight. Gotta keep it moving, running on toward the prize. Thinking of the day when I can go and leave this war behind. In the meantime, I'll keep drawing for the sword divine. My Lord is light, and I pray he blesses me with more to shine. He's showing me how he's growing me now throughout all of the trials. The foe is around, I'm going around against the roaring lion. Try slowing me down, knowing I'm proud I walk these awkward miles. Though he does proud, no I won't drown, cause of my call to Zion.
I keep running away from you, but you keep calling me home. Thoughts in my mind pulling me away instead of turning to you. I know that you are never too far, you never let me go. Lord, I wanna come home.
So that was from a couple years ago, it says.
Yeah.
And just so everyone knows that's not from the album we're talking about today.
Oh, it's
Right,
going to be on the album.
It is going to be on the
That will
album.
be on the album, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's great. So yeah, you guys really have quite the musical family. Are your kids showing any signs of musicality too?
Yeah, our daughter Ariana, she's gonna be 5 in July. She is. Oh yeah, man, I like theocracy as well. Nichols just yeah. So our daughter, she's always making up songs and melodies and dancing. So she displays a lot of musicality, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool. So you're gonna have a whole like group of you
yeah.
eventually. It's gonna be
Yeah,
we're gonna hear all different voices there from your
yeah.
family.
And I think most people know this anyway, but the first voice you heard was Sandra Blazer's the second lady.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
just in case the audience don't know. But the
Okay.
other thing is, you seem to have a lot more fans of this one. It seems to be more up their lane. A lot of people saying beautiful singing voice. I like this one. Yeah,
Mm.
so it's good that that's going to be on the album as well then.
Yeah,
Now,
and that was more the example of liquid drum and bass, the more mellow sort of sound. And there are about 4 or 5 songs on the album that are more mellow like that. There, if you like that
Awesome.
kind of singing as well, there's a sister on the album called Laura Brizrela. She's got a beautiful voice on a couple of songs that are similar vibe to that. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I can see Sandra
Liq-
says she can
liquid
harmonize now too.
liquid drum and bass. I got to get all these terms down.
yeah.
Of course, I won't remember by next week, right?
That's true.
You watch, Layman will be like liquid drum and bass, and I'll be like, I've never heard that term before.
It'll actually happen, I can promise you. We've a question here, Ollie. I think you've already answered this, but just to double check, will the album be on Amazon Music?
Yes, it will be.
Awesome.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
and we have a question from Nichols as well. Vinyl. We already discussed this off camera, but
Oh, vinyl. Oh, yeah. So I am hoping to print some vinyls. It's something that I've been looking into because it's vinyl's big part of drum and bass culture. So, and also I don't know about over in the States, but it's becoming really popular in the UK. A lot of people now are buying record players, and yeah, are really enjoying that. One of our friends of Layman and mine, is some of the people might even know him. Reformed and Reading on Instagram. He
very popular account on Instagram.
yeah he collects vinyls. He loves vinyls, and so yeah, I've noticed a lot of people getting onto that.
I get a kick out of it as someone who watched vinyls die. Watch that whole industry, just totally transformed with tapes and CDs, and now it's funny to watch vinyls come back with the emerging generations. It's hilarious.
And you know what? I don't think it's just vinyls either. I like.
You're
I've
right.
even noticed cassette tapes.
You're right. Yeah,
You
it's
know,
all coming back.
yeah.
Ooh, Nichols says he has like 300. Wow.
That's a lot. And 3 turntables.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I
He's
feel like
definitely
people
did then.
like to have more minimalist, like because everything's on your phone, and I feel like people like the idea of actually owning something
right.
that you buy it, and it's like I have this,
Well, yeah, well, I think part of the reason for that is you haven't seen it as much with music yet, but the precedent's already been set. So, for example, you can buy a online movie right now, but they now have it worked into the buyer's agreement that
Yeah.
when you buy it, you're just technically renting that from them.
Yeah.
They
Same with
can at
games.
any time remove that from your library, which
Yeah.
I think that's a big reason why people want their music, their DVDs, and everything else to
Yeah.
be
That's
owned by
why
them.
that's why you got to make the vinyl. We don't want to rent your music, Ollie. We want to buy your music.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep.
And
And Tiffany said it there
Tony
too.
wanted to
Vinyl
know-
is superior audio quality.
Tony wanted to know, is it going to be on 8-track?
I've never heard of 8-track.
I've never heard of 8-track.
Oh,
What
you
is
will
8-track?
have it was before cassette tapes, bro. They were massive.
Oh right. Oh okay. Yeah. I'm sorry to say, Tony. I don't think it will be.
That for some reason is not making a comeback.
Yeah.
No, there's a reason. 8 tracks you couldn't record on them, whereas
Yeah.
cassette tapes you could record. That's what made
Right.
cassettes really popular.
Do you guys remember mini disc? Like it was like
Yeah.
nothing
Wasn't
ever
too
happened to that.
popular here.
No, it wasn't over here either.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a mini disc player with no mini discs. I didn't know where to go from.
You should do a
So,
mini
will
disc
you
of your
have-
new album.
Well, along that lines, will you have music videos on VHS, Ollie?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him in black and white, and I'm gonna feature the Jubilees.
To be fair though, but there is actually a VHS filter on Instagram, so like you technically, a lot of people are going that route for the sort of like retro vibe, but
Right. I'm gonna have to look into 8-track now. I'm gonna have to look into that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it'd probably be very expensive to produce an 8-track because nobody's doing it,
Mm.
But you would be a unique artist for
Yep.
sure if you did that.
Right.
Yeah. Well, just before she leaves, if you want to pull up Sandra's comment there, because I think she's about to check out on us here. So
Where she said hi. That one?
yeah, she's saying great to see us again.
Yeah.
Yeah, she must be going to get settled down a little bit. Plus, we'll also let Ollie head off now as well, so you can get
Yeah.
some family
I think
time
that's
before
my-
bedtime
that's
as
my
well.
cue. That's my cue to join my wife there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
But that's a good thing because like you want to go spend some family time. But before you go, Ollie, give everybody a plug, not just where they can get your album again, but like where they can find you, how they can keep
Yeah.
up with you, all those sort of things.
Yeah, so on Instagram, my Instagram is at King Jims UK. So that's KingJims UK. You can find me on there. It's also the same on TikTok. I'm new to TikTok. I said I'd never get TikTok, and then I got it a couple of months ago, and I've definitely seen actually the value in people discovering my music through TikTok. Yeah, I still can't really stand TikTok, but yeah,
Wow.
Instagram and TikTok, King Jims UK. And like I say, if you're interested in keeping up to date with my ministry, you can type in Ollie Sherwood, London City Mission. That's Ollie with a Y. And yeah, I send out a regular prayer letter. Yeah, and yeah, you can be up to date in that way. And yeah, appreciate your
Great.
prayers. Please do be praying for the album as well. That God will be glorified, and there might be a conversation starter with people to have gospel conversations. Yeah.
Amen.
Of course.
Well, I appreciate you so much, Ollie, taking time to come on. I know so much going on in your life, but not only did we get to see you, we got to have your wife in the comments too, which was awesome. So great to see she's got her energy back, and
Yeah.
she's and that's cool. I didn't realize she was on the album, so that's
Yeah.
really
Mhm.
really cool to learn today that she's also a musician.
Yeah, I'm hoping that my wife will use her gift more. She's very talented, and she wrote the chorus to Running as well. And I always enjoy hearing her sing. So yeah, pray that the Lord
Yeah,
will
well, she had quite a few fans there, so yeah. Well, she had quite a few fans there. There's a lot of people saying beautiful voice, lovely voice.
That's it.
So,
Absolutely.
but anyway,
Great.
Ollie, while you're checking out, I am just going to run to the bathroom quickly. Tim, I will be back. But Ollie, good seeing you. I'm sure we'll be texting
Bless you,
throughout the week
brother.
anyway, bro.
Yeah, man. Much love. Yeah.
All right, let me just pull us up here. So, yeah, I mean, if you leave me now, then I'm just going to suddenly be alone. I had 2 other people with me, and suddenly I'm all
I'll
alone.
wait for Layman to come back.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, you haven't got to like tell some random jokes or something on the spot.
There you go. Yeah. No, you can leave whenever you want. I mean, they've had me by myself before. They've been stuck with me before. They can
Cool.
just watch me finish my Whisper bar or something, or my snacks here.
Oh, well, brother, thank you so much for having me, Tim, man. It's always a blessing to speak to you, and I've enjoyed watching you eat some English snacks. Yeah, man. Great to see you,
I
brother.
guess I should send you a whoopie pie. You know,
Pie.
not a whoopie pie. Those are good too. I said that because that's just like common around here, whoopie pies. But I meant to say moon pie.
A moon
I
pie.
meant to say moon pie.
I'm up for trying a moon
Yeah.
pie for sure, for sure.
But a whoopie pie is also really good, actually. So maybe I should send that too.
Cool. So whoopie over here is something different. Like, do you guys know about whoopie cushions?
Yeah, whoopee cushions. Yeah, yeah. It's nothing like that.
Right. Yeah.
But-
Good.
But whoopee is, kind of, I guess, an expression for being excited. So I'm
Right.
guessing whoopie pie has to do with like, woohoo,
Right.
All right. Good. We got Layman back. So
Cool.
Yes, I am back.
Appreciate you
God
guys.
bless, bro.
Yeah. Thank you so much, man. And yeah, see you all some other
yeah,
time.
I hope we can talk again sometime.
Sure.
Cool. Yeah, man. Take care, guys.
Goodbye.
God bless, bro.
All right. Let me get him there. There we go. All right. So you're back. I guess
Yes.
I'm gonna save actually the. I do have a little bit of the Whisper bar left, and I'm gonna save it. So I've let my kids try some of these things, especially the
Did
candy.
you record the Freddo for
No,
Tony?
I still have it, and I need to record the two things he sent specifically for my daughter. I need to record those with her.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do that at some point. And
Okay.
yeah, I've got and I wanted to thank Tony. Just make sure I let you know how much I appreciate trying all this stuff. It's been really fun, and really do appreciate it that someone would take the time to send me these things. I told Ollie I could maybe send him a moon pie. I really should. Now Tony already knows he doesn't like them, so I won't send you one, Tony.
Yeah, like knowing Ollie as well as I do, like he will eat it, sure, but I don't think he will like it.
He'll be polite. Is he more?
Yeah, he'll be politer than I would
Is he
be,
more
put it that way.
diplomatic than you are? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, like Ollie wouldn't be scared to say his
Okay.
opinion, but like
Okay.
he would definitely not be as maybe direct as me. Like I sometimes am just very blunt.
No kidding. Especially about moon pies.
Mm-hmm.
Now I slipped and said whoopie pie to him at first, and a whoopie pie is a different thing I've told you about before, and I do think you'd like that. I should try to send you one of those.
Well, maybe wait until I've sent your stuff too, because I've also got someone else waiting on a package going out. Now, I finally got Kobe's Bible sent off, but it's currently in a week's delay because our post office has been redone, so he should get it hopefully by the end of this week, I'm hoping.
I still remember when I was going to send you something that the post office said to me, you can send it airmail, which
I
will go
remember,
pretty
yeah.
quickly, or you can send it by boat. And it was going to be cheaper, but I was like, I'm not going to send it by boat. I want you to get it in a
Yeah.
reasonable time, but
Like our entire store, so like it's a Spar. That won't mean anything to you, but people from the UK will know what it is. But they're recently converting from a Spar to a Euro Spar because they previously got access to the rights to have a post office, because the shops in our town compete for which shop has the rights, because like the post office rents out the rights to the post office. I'm repeating myself a lot here, for I think it's like a lease of every 5 years. So every 5 years, different shops bid on it, and depend on who the bidding winner is. So like someone might retain it, say for like 15 years or whatever, but if another shop comes along and outbids them, they'll then get the rights to the post office. So our local Spar recently got is in the process of being converted to a Euro Spar, but because of all the construction and stuff that's happening in it, it's affecting the rate that parcels are going out at. So Kobe will be getting his Bible, but it was shipped a week ago, but it's still in the post office. So
oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm seeing stuff, some conversation here in the comments about ingredients in U.S. foods, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've heard that before, that we have ingredients you're not allowed to have.
Yeah, it's because of EU law. So, for example, one of the clearest ones is your Mountain Dew tastes nothing like our Mountain Dew because half of the stuff, and I literally mean half of the stuff that you guys have in that is not allowed here. So they're just like, nope.
I should drink a Mountain Dew when I'm on the channel sometime.
I've had the American version. It's definitely different. Like, I like it because I like my sodas, but it's definitely, you can tell it's got a lot of sugar in it.
Well, that's true. You guys, it seems like every drink I have doesn't have real sugar.
No, including a lot of our candies and stuff now as well. It's not made with real sugar. Like, the government tries to pretend that it's made with healthier alternatives like sweeteners and stuff, but
Yeah. Well, this can of Vimto does say sugar in the ingredients, but a lot of the ones that I've tried have artificial sweeteners.
yeah. Yep.
That's interesting. And it does have extracts of fruit, so it's probably a combination of sugar and fruit juice, I suppose. Huh. Oh, yeah, and it also says concentrates of carrot and hibiscus.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's really quite a variety of things in here. That's why I couldn't discern exactly what it tasted like.
Yeah. Well, do you have any topics we should get to, or are we hanging out with the audience for a bit?
I was just letting the audience kind of talk a little bit there, and if you guys have any topics that you want to throw out our way here, we just kind of dedicated most of the time for Ollie to talk to us about his album, but we're in no huge rush to get out of here. But if we kind of
no, definitely not.
if we kind of die down here and don't have anything to talk about, we also can wrap it up. But we'll see. See
There's a
what
good
people are
book
saying.
coming out on June 5th, Tim. I don't know if you've heard about it.
Oh, that's right. We need to talk about that.
Yeah.
We have talked about it in passing, but we need to really.
In passing, but yeah, not in any detail. Now, the only thing I would add is I have told my audience this on X, YouTube, everywhere else, but not all of my audience are your audience and vice versa. The book is currently live on Amazon, but please, 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 please do not buy it. I uploaded almost like a sample copy so I could see what it looks like. Now, this cover is not perfect, but this is roughly what your book will look like, which I think's turned out really, really well. So I'm excited about it, but do not buy the one on Amazon until launch day, because what you will currently get is you will get a cover with a messed up logo, like it's not the full logo, and inside you will get the first 30 odd pages printed 2 to 3 times. So don't buy it right now because you'll waste your money, and if you do buy it and you return it, it affects my author score. So please don't buy it right yet. It will be coming out on June 5th.
Yeah, and I need to get a picture up of. I got distracted a little bit there because I just saw a post from Colton, and I think I'm going to show it. But let me get the picture of your book, because I want to make
Speaking
sure
of Colton,
people.
he wrote the foreword to this. Yeah.
There you go. So that's perfect segue. We can talk about your book and then talk about what Colton said.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been in the chat, so if he wants to give any input, he's welcome to. Has to do with Bible translation. But let me. I'm not finding the book on your X. It's been a while since you posted about it. Oh, here we go.
Oh, just about me posting about it. All right.
At least I have the picture here. Okay, here we go.
I could also just hold the book cover in front of you again.
That's true. So here it is. So this is coming out, you said June 5th. Oh, and I've still
June
got
5th.
Ollie's.
Yeah, it's just.
I wonder if I can get.
He'll be down at the bottom, so you can just click remove.
Yeah, I'll get that. Yeah, here we go. Something like that. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, so June 5th, and so don't buy it yet. Don't buy it yet.
No.
but it's people are anticipating it. It sounds like people are really really
To be
positive
honest,
about it.
I was surprised. Like my first book, which was like devotional in nature, although like you could technically call yourself an author, I didn't quite count that as being an author, more so because I didn't really count it fully as a book. Like, and I'm not trying to downplay myself. It's just the way I feel about it. Like a devotional to me just didn't seem as, I don't know what the right word I'm looking for, but it just didn't make it in my eyes. Like I was proud of it. I still am proud of it. A couple of people have been still regularly buying it, which is nice. And a guy the other day just shared by how much it's actually really helped him. So praise the Lord for that. But this is the one that I am really excited about getting into people's hands, because this is a topic that I am actually really passionate about. I think people understand or have a really weak understanding of the Trinity outside of explaining that it is Father, Son, Holy Spirit. They don't really know how to explain the relational roles of our triune God. They don't know the operation of order. And because of that, they often get tripped up whenever someone will present to them the so-called logical problem of the Trinity, which, spoiler, there's no logical problem. If anything, if you wanted to maintain that there's still a problem, there isn't, by the way, but I'm just saying, if you wanted to, you would actually have to argue that from a metaphysical standpoint, not from a logical standpoint. So the main group of testers that have read this found the first section probably a little bit intimidating, but that was by design, because I don't teach you the Trinity right away. I start with the problem and I walk you through the problem and I make you struggle with the problem until you get to the second section of the book, which actually starts to explain the Trinity and how to answer the problem. So the goal behind it is, by the time you've read the book fully, you will have to go back to the start of the book just to work through the problem again, but this time actually know how to answer it. So once the test readers got a hold of that concept, they started understanding why I did it that way, and they were like, this makes a lot more sense. Because in the beginning, a few of them were like, why have you started with the problem?
Yeah. Well, I didn't think. I mean, to me, it made sense. I don't know. I mean, maybe we just have similar thought processes, but I mean,
Well, I was going to say, you're a pastor. Like you work through this material a lot. You are, I'm sure you were even tested on this material as well. This book is more like, as I say, the title of it is A Primer on the Trinity, teaching the doctrine and answering the logical problem. So this book will be for people that know the material really well, because it's just a good refresher. But the ultimate goal of this, because I am the layman apologist, this is for the layman. It's for the people that I often hear, they think they articulate the Trinity decently, but they actually don't, and they end up following into either heresy or they get themselves caught in a really bad trap, especially online. Because the one thing I would say, and this is not just on the Trinity, but it's becoming increasingly more popular, especially in the apologetic circles. If you don't know a doctrine really well, don't go up and join a live panel where someone's trying to refute it, because if you go up and you say something wrong, the entire culture is based to laugh at you, clip it, and put it online and go, haha, stupid Trinitarian doesn't know their own God. That's very common amongst modalists, Jehovah Witnesses, and Muslims, especially when they're doing their live streams. So if you don't know the doctrine of the Trinity or any other doctrine, don't go up and join panels. So
I'm sorry, but when you said modalist, I was compelled to put that comment up there that Nicholsworth said. That this is a comment that's kind of required when you bring up the doctrine of the Trinity.
yeah,
Reference to Lutheran Satire's video.
yeah, and it comes from well-meaning people, but I don't think people realize whenever you use analogies for the Trinity, they always, always, always either fall into modalism or partialism. Those are the two main categories. Because here's the thing. You could use an analogy and say, look, this analogy is ultimately going to fall down, so don't map this onto God completely, but, here's a rough idea of, like, how you could look at that. That could work, sort of, but it leads people mentally into, like, I think, faulty understandings and faulty images. So I often tell people, don't use analogies. Stick to the creeds, stick to what the confessions say, and ultimately draw from Scripture. But more importantly, whenever you try and use an analogy to explain God, why would you think that your imperfect analogy could explain a being who is truly infinite? When it comes to the doctrine of the Trinity, it's not that the Trinity can't be explained. Of course it can, but it can't be explained in its fullness. We have to be humble enough to say that our finite mind cannot truly comprehend God in his infinite capacity. So,
Yeah. I guess it's because people feel like, because the Trinity is like, they feel the need to defend it or to explain it. They feel like using
Yep.
an analogy will somehow prove something. But I kind of feel like there are many things in life that are mysterious, and that's just part of the world we live in, is that there are some things that are unexplainable in a full sense. And certainly when you're talking about the nature of the highest being of all, there's going to be some mystery there. And so we actually, I think, almost want to oversimplify it when we use analogies.
Yeah, because when you think about it, and you see, here's another thing that people do too. They'll often say, well, God's like us. We're a body, a spirit, and a soul. Well, I don't hold to that view anyway. I believe soul and spirit are basically interchangeable, especially from their biblical usage. But this just say, for example's sake, we do believe that. But the problem with that is that falls into partialism. So as a being, I am made up of my body, my spirit, and my soul, which means I am a composite being. I'm made up of parts. God's not. We don't speak of God that way, but people map our human experience onto God and go, oh, just like God is a Father, a Son, and a Holy Spirit, we're a body, a soul, and a spirit. No. Big
No.
heresy, big time condemned. Don't
Yeah.
do it.
I know. Yeah. It's just such a easy trap for people to fall into.
It
But,
is, and that's what I say. Most people that use analogies are often well-intentioned, and they often find people like me to be very irritating whenever they hear me say don't use analogies, because they think I'm just being a big poo-poo head that's like, hey, don't do that. But the reason why you get people like me that are so adamant on this issue of not using analogies, you're going to run yourself. So if you use that analogy, Tim, around another Christian that understands what you're trying to say, there's going to be grace given. You use that analogy around a Muslim, a Jehovah's Witness, or whatever, they will tear you apart, because you have articulated something that has historically been condemned by Christianity. So,
yeah, and I have read some. I want to read. I want to finish reading the book, but it definitely, I think, is very useful, because you not only articulate the positive argument of what the logical argument for
Problem.
the Trinity is, the logical problem. I think that's the key point there, is realizing that we can just take for granted, especially if we've grown up with Trinitarianism, we can take for granted, and I have to say it's a blessing. I grew up being taught the Trinity, so there's a blessing there when you've been taught it from a young age.
oh yeah.
But it's easy for you to take it for granted that you've thought through all of these things, and what your book does is kind of show you maybe you actually haven't thought through everything, because there's some definitely strong arguments that people can make against the Trinity.
100%, because here's what people don't realize. You can get a faulty argument that does not lead to the right conclusion, but it doesn't mean that it's not a strong argument. Now, in most people's minds, they'll be like, hang on, what do you mean? If it's faulty, how can it be strong? Well, it can be strong in this way. If you don't know the answer, that can shipwreck your understanding of, say, the doctrine of the Trinity. So, for example, when I was going through this book, one of the reasons I did this is because I saw so many young Christians going up to Muslim call-in shows, and the Muslim would falsely equivocate on the phrase "is God." So they would say, "Okay, so you would agree the Father is God?" The Christian would be like, "Yeah, of course." Then they would say, "So you would also agree that Jesus is God?" Christian, of course, would say yes. So then they would falsely equivocate and say, "Oh, so you believe that the Father and the Son are identical. In order for them to be identical, Leibniz law would state that they share all the same properties." Guess what then happened to the Christian? "Oh, no, 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 no. Jesus is not identical to the Father. He's only identical in being God." To which they would go back to the false equivalence. "Yeah, but God, the Father, you're saying is God, and then you're also saying Jesus, the Son, is God, therefore equating Father and Son." So you could recognize the fault in that argument and go, no, that doesn't follow. But if you don't know how to answer that, that's why the argument's strong, because you're placed in a position where you're like, hang on a minute, how do I answer that? Because the first time you hear that argument of the Father equaling the Son, you know it's wrong. Most people know it's wrong, but they couldn't articulate their way out of it if their life depended on it, and they're just kind of like, well, no, they're not, and that's as far as their argumentation goes. And saying no, it's not, is not a good argument. So hopefully the book will be of use to people. A lot of people that have read it so far have found it particularly useful themselves, which is good, because it was sent to a few pastors, and they even said that it was well constructed. So if I'm getting that kind of feedback, I'm kind of hoping that it'll be well for the public.
That's great. Now, since you are a writer of a book on the Trinity, I just was thinking as we were talking about, we talked a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last week actually, about the what's his name, Michael? Is it Michael? I'm so bad right now with my memory.
I'm trying to think who you're talking about.
Heiser?
Oh yeah, Mike Heiser, yeah.
Yeah. So I actually was reading some of his work. I had never really read him before, but
Good.
this ties into the subject of the Trinity. And I just, because I was asking you last time, what made him controversial, and I kind of understood more why people can have a hard time with him as I was reading his stuff, and it actually ties into the Trinity discussion, because I'll pull it up here. I got to get the right tab. I think you can see this.
Can you zoom in a little bit? Or
Oh, sorry. Let's see if I can make it a little bigger.
even if you can't, just read it out.
All right. Can you see that a little better?
Yeah, that's better. Yep.
It says, so he's quoting from Genesis 1, which says, "Let us make mankind in our image." This is God speaking. "Let us make humankind in our image, according to our likeness." And then he says in this commentary paragraph, "Many Bible readers note the plural pronouns us, our with curiosity. They might suggest that the plurals refer to the Trinity, but technical research," he says, "in Hebrew grammar and exegesis has shown that the Trinity is not a coherent explanation. The solution is much more straightforward, and one that an ancient Israelite would have readily discerned. What we have is a single person, God, addressing a group, the members of his divine council." I could see that definitely being controversial, like...
Oh, it 100% is, but let me set the stage a little bit. This is not Heiser's actual opinion. This is So the reason why Heiser always got... Sorry, now I've got a really loud motorbike. Heiser always got in trouble because, to be fair, I do this a little bit sometimes as well, which I think throws people off, so I maybe need to be paying more attention to it. But I have got no problem articulating what I think other people believed. So Heiser often wrote in this way. So in this, because in later explanations you can see he actually says that no, he holds that the Trinity was in view in Genesis 1. But he has got no issue believing that Hebrew scholarship and ancient Near Eastern Israelites would have understood this as the divine council. But he goes on in all their material to say that, in his personal opinion, the reason why it couldn't be a single person God addressing a group is if you then would believe that this is the divine council, you're saying that somehow man is made in the image of the divine council. With them not being God in the sense that God is God, in what image were you then made in? So you could, I think at best, you could say that Heiser's writing at times was perhaps sloppy.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, let me just. Honestly, I don't think he's saying this is what other people believe. Like, that is not the way this chapter reads. Because I was reading it. He's arguing this. I mean,
Not
someone
the
can
later
correct me if
material,
I'm
but-
wrong, but like that's what I said. This, I could see why this is controversial, because it does sound to me like he's literally, I mean, unless later in the book he like says everything I told you is not true, but like he's making the point here that this is not referring to the Trinity.
Yeah. I would say it's sloppy writing, because having heard his other talks and read his other works, he does argue that it is the Trinity, because otherwise you would be saying that you are made in the image of the divine council, not of Yahweh.
Well, that's, I think, what he's going to argue. That's because he
I,
says
I agree. Yeah.
he actually says no. What I'm saying, he's arguing that image, that there are imagers. So we are created to image God, to be his imagers. The image we have is not an ability we have, but a status. And I think what he was saying is that the divine council are also imagers in the unseen realm.
Yeah.
So he is able, under that argumentation, to say that God can say, "Let us make man in our image."
Yeah, I get that, but what I'm arguing for is, this is where I would say part of the reason why Heiser was sloppy in this regard is, in later works he doesn't hold this view, and then when you watch some of his seminars and these types of questions get
Yeah, that's weird.
stupid motorbike.
The
Sorry,
reason
it's
I think
motorbike.
that's so odd is because this is literally they came out with this updated edition.
Yeah, this is the update. Yeah,
This is
that's
the
right.
newest edition. Why would you keep that in your book if you've changed your position? Like you would go back and change it, because he's
could-
literally
could-
arguing for this.
Could be a family thing where like it wasn't allowed to be updated, because apparently, now don't quote me on this, but the updates were apparently just like extra notes and stuff that were left
No,
out of the
yeah,
first one. So
But still, like, why wouldn't he have updated it in his
Look,
like?
I-
It's not
I-
like
I
he
get it.
died right away, you know.
no, I get it, and this is why I would say that Heiser does create controversy. Like, I would never
Yeah.
deny that, but what I'm saying is, and this is where I'm in agreement even with the comments, like, he creates confusion because I think he was sloppy in how he articulated his own views. Because when you read his works, that's 100% what you get. But when you watch his seminars, he doesn't present it that way. Because when he gets asked his opinion, he keeps deferring back to, no, this was the ancient Near Eastern view. This is what scholarship says. But that's what makes people think that that's his opinion. But no, Heiser was not a... He strongly held to the divine council view, but like us being made purely in the image of the divine council, not from what I've heard of him. But I'm open to being wrong on that. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going by what I've read, and he's clearly trying to say that, like, that's Genesis 1 when it says "let us." It is a singular person talking to others.
yeah,
So it's not it's not Trinitarian. That's his point.
yeah, but
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to attack him, or I just was trying to understand why he was controversial, and I think I understand more now.
yeah, no, I know you're not trying to attack him, but nor am I trying to baselessly defend him either. It's more just the fact of,
Yeah.
if this was any other author, we would lay the same charge at their feet as well. The problem is they would be alive today, though, but to defend themselves. So
Yeah.
a lot of people that have read Heiser come to this view, obviously, because it's what he said. But whenever you watch his seminars, it's a different story. Now, could you say that that's an inconsistency with Heiser? Yeah, big time. And I would say it's even sloppy. But because I've heard his view actually articulated from his own mouth, I would say that
Yeah.
he is not a divine council guy, as in like we are made in the image truly in the divine council. He
That I can
articulates that well.
understand, but that's where that whole image versus imager comes into play. I do
Yep.
think he does argue, though, that Genesis 1 is not Trinitarian. I'm pretty sure he's strong on that. But Colton says that's his biggest problem with him, is greatly lacking in clarity and my judgment not helpful.
Yeah, it's because in a lot of places, Heiser presents the scholarly view as if that's what he's actually arguing for. But then
Right.
in other places, like when he's asked in Q&As what his position was, he was like,
Yeah, and I hear you, Colton. You're also saying you wouldn't put that book in the hands of your people. I get what you're saying there. It could be very confusing for sure. My what I was talking about last time was, I thought people were reacting to like the Sons of God stuff, where I thought that was pretty.
that's
Yeah.
that's part of it. Heiser was, and this is part of it. The fact that he is clumsy with how he says things. I don't deny that, but part of the reason for the controversy for him is the overall worldview that Heiser took. Like, it's often referred to as the ancient Near Eastern worldview or the Deuteronomy 32 worldview.
Yep.
He sometimes was so adamant in defending that he took certain like historical church doctrines, and while he didn't throw them out, he certainly brought them under a lot of scrutiny and was like, I don't think this was right. So
Yeah. Yeah. So he's questioning further church historical teaching.
yes, but
Yeah.
at the same time, this is what I mean by he was sloppy. And I'm not saying that as an attack.
Yeah.
He still wouldn't buckle down and say that it was wrong, or that
Right.
the ancient Near Eastern worldview was definitely right. He just kept saying, well, this is the consensus of scholarship. This is what an ancient Israelite would have understood. And then he keeps making it sound like it's his view, but yet whenever he was pressed on a few Q&As, Heiser refuses to give his genuine opinion at times. And I don't know whether that was like, I don't
Yeah.
know, sloppiness or whatever. So
I think he's trying to make sure he stays within orthodoxy, probably. But I do think from what I've read of the book, he's trying to counteract kind of this over, like we've kind of relegated the idea of the spiritual realm to just focusing on
yeah.
God and Jesus and not talking about other realities, that are in the spiritual realm. Although there are Christians who talk a lot about those other beings, but I guess in some circles, it's easy to just kind of become minimalist. And
Yep.
yet it's true. Like, the Bible actually does talk about angels. The Bible does talk about demons, and like, it should be part of our theology. And even like, it's not like demons have stopped working in the world. Like, they're still doing stuff. So
Yep. So part of it is an overreach and reaction, I think, with that worldview, because like obviously the biblical authors did read non-canonical books. We know that because there are places where they quote from them. So Heiser's proposition, and not just his, like others that hold this view as well, is that you need to read those books not as the fact that they're scripture, but you need to read those books to understand what the worldview was of the authors, what they would have appealed to, what they would have understood, all that sort of thing. So it's weird. It's
Yeah.
weird, and he does get sloppy on a few occasions. He definitely does. Now, I see Nichols here disagrees with me, but I would actually push back on that even further, and I would say demonstrate that, because his wife has also maintained the same thing, that he did not hold that we are made in the image of the divine council, because he says we are also made as replacements of the divine council. So Heiser never took the view that you were made specifically in the image of the divine council. You were made to replace certain members of the divine council. So he did not, he articulated it badly, 100%, even in his book, as you said, Tim. But overall, did he ultimately believe that we were made in the image of all the Elohim? No.
Oh. No, I don't think that's even what Nichols is saying either.
No, I know he's not saying that. He's
not saying that. I don't.
No, if you read his comment, he's
Okay.
saying that Heiser's position 100% is that it's made in the divine council and not the Trinity. That's the point me and him are disagreeing over.
He just said here, I believe, I am saying he believed us referred to the divine council.
Which is what I just said.
Well, but that's, see, I'm not sure, man, because when he did say clearly.
Bring him up.
Let Nichols come up.
Mhm. He's asking to come up.
Yeah, if are you available? Let me see if I can get his.
Let him up.
Yeah, I can probably do it. Let's see here. I'm going to get you a link there, Nichols, and I'll send it to your email. We're doing an impromptu guest.
We should do, but because this is the thing. Like, this is, I know this is not Nichols' position that he's saying the Trinity. But what I'm saying is, Heiser was 100% confusing. I get that, but you cannot take the man's words and his wife's words, where he eventually said, that.
Yeah.
No.
So just so we're clear, I never said that Heiser said we were made in the divine council's image, but when he says, okay.
Not you. Me and Nichols are disagreeing.
Okay. Well, we'll find out. Yeah, what he thinks about that.
Yeah. Then Colton's like, typical conversation about Heiser, mask confusional.
There you go.
See,
We're
I
in the deep end now,
disagree
Joel
with
says.
that. I think a lot of people think I'm a Heiser
defender.
I'm not. It's more just the fact the guy's not around anymore, and he does get thrown under the bus a lot. A lot of that is his own doing. I agree.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully Nichols will be in here. Then we'll have a council. We'll have a YouTube council.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. There we go.
Oh, is he up?
All right, straighten us out, Nichols. Tell us about Heiser.
I'm not in the studio. I'm back.
And what he was teaching, or at least give us a Nichols worth on it.
Give us 5 nickels worth. We're here for a discussion.
He's going to give us a Nichols worth of Heiser commentary.
We
we don't have your sound yet. I hope we can get your sound going. We're just doing this impromptu, everybody. So who knows if we can get this working?
Yeah, that's right. Tony, no Orthodox.
Yeah,
Philip,
that we could get Orthodox Philip to talk about Heiser.
I don't think Orthodox Philip's read Heiser.
He's probably not
right. Wrong. But I may be wrong on that one. Philip's well read, to be fair.
I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm guessing Philip would have a Trinitarian view of Genesis 1.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Nichols is going to try again.
Yeah.
We'll get him back in here.
Well,
it's always hard when you're doing these things off the cuff.
Well, it's impromptu too. Like, I'm sure he's just setting up with his mobile or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but I'm sure we'll get him on.
So Leslie said, don't worry, Leslie. We're not sure what we're talking about either, because we're talking about some theology here that is a little hard for people to, like, Michael Heiser wasn't always very clear, is kind of the point we're making.
Do we have audio now?
I hear you.
We do, but I hear music.
What's up, man? My dream has come true. I'm finally on a
You've been
podcast with Layman
we
Apologist.
started and we started talking about the unseen realm and spiritual beings, and you're like, I gotta be there. I gotta be there.
Yeah, and I just want to clarify. I am not saying that Michael Heiser believed that we are made in the image of the divine council. Let me turn this off.
Ah, okay, right. Well, then there is a confusion.
Yep.
Yeah. I am saying that he absolutely believed the us was not Trinitarian.
Right. That's all
But
I
it
Yeah,
was
was
saying.
God.
he didn't believe it was members of the Godhead talking to one another.
Right. So
Yeah.
that was really
And
hard to clear
he
up in
made
the
a real
comments.
strong point in the first chapter about that.
Yeah.
Like, this is not the Trinity.
Right. He was adamant about that. And I've watched like hundreds of his videos, hundreds of his shorts. I've read 3 of his books. I've read Angels, I've read Demons, and I've read The Unseen Realm. So, I mean, he absolutely did not believe the us was referring to the Trinity. And I think it's a little tricky
Yeah.
to absolutely say that it's one way or the other. I don't think that you need
Agreed.
the us in Genesis to be Trinitarian in order to defend the Trinity, because Michael Heiser was 100% Trinitarian. He believed in even the angel of the Lord being the second Yahweh, and that's where I think he gets super muddy and where it gets confusing, and where I check out, the angel of the Lord is the second Yahweh, so Jesus.
How does that define? Like, can you explain that? Like, what does that mean?
The angel of the Lord literally is Malachim Yahweh.
Okay.
So it's literally using his name. I believe the angel of the Lord, not an angel of the Lord, but the angel of the Lord. Like when in Exodus chapter 3, the angel of the Lord is a manifestation of God. Is it Jesus being manifest? That's debatable. But I would lean toward yes, that it would be Jesus manifest, like the third man in the fire and all this other. Yeah, but these are things I would not like. I wouldn't die on this hill. I wouldn't make a doctrine out of the angel of the Lord is Jesus, but I will make absolutely die on the hill that the angel of the Lord is God. So but yeah.
Oh, and I just told Colton if he wanted to join us, he's welcome. Although I didn't mean to put that weird. Why does this chat always put the weirdest symbol for a smiley face? I know you've told me before.
Whenever the viewers do it, they're using YouTube's emojis. EV Mux doesn't have its own emojis, so therefore it creates its own like robot type emojis.
Yeah.
It's so
what's
weird.
the name of the thing? Riverside. I think, man, that is a phenomenal platform when it comes to stuff like this. But
that's okay.
Yeah,
I don't want to learn. I just said I'm old and I don't want to learn anything new. So go ahead.
The whole topic of demonology and the invisible world, all of that really just you can go overboard, but you can also go underboard, because a lot of our English translations, will dumb it down and translate the supernatural language out. And we just think we're reading about, like in, I think it's Isaiah 65:11, where it says fortune and destiny, and it's talking about gods that are being sacrificed.
Yeah, false gods, correct.
And if we're not careful, we dumb that out by just using English substitute words. It's just like, it's at least possible. I'm not saying I believe this, but it's at least possible that the scapegoat, the word Azazel there, could be referencing to some sort of evil spirit. Now, that's dangerous because it can go into ransom theology, where God is making an offering to Azazel. So I don't hold that position, but I mean, I have to admit it's intriguing that language is used. And but it's all over the scripture. I did an Old Testament survey class, and I feel like I'm dominating the lane like LeBron right now, coming in hot, and didn't earn this spot, but you brought me on.
Go for it,
bro. That's right. We were ready.
But I did an Old Testament survey where I listed every single divine entity, invisible bad guy and good guy, named in the Old Testament. And the list is vast. It's huge. And, we have Michael Heiser to thank for popularizing the concept of the invisible world being beyond God. But we also have him to thank for the massive web of confusion that he created by being unclear on this second Yahweh. And I'm Trinitarian, but then I say goofy things that almost sound non-Trinitarian. And he's an you know, Michael Heiser would frequent like alien conferences
Yeah.
because he was invited into those circles because he entertained the idea of not necessarily unidentified flying objects, but other worlds with other
Right.
occupants and
Yeah.
through this. Because here's a wild question: Genesis chapter 1, since we're there, why was the earth without form and void? What happened? It was brand new.
Yep.
So do we have this pre-Adamite race, or which I don't hold that position, but I do believe that perhaps it's possible that something went wrong in the heavens and that these beings had their own territories, possible, and something got overthrown and God decided to redeem the earth. So who knows what went on in the invisible world? And I'm not trying to establish doctrines and positions here, but when you get into demonology, you have to wrestle with these things.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
you said, we can so easily downplay it too much in some Christian circles for sure, and it's because we live in a very materialistic society that does not, everything is just, physically explainable. Even if you have internal issues, notice what we call them now. We call them mental health issues. It's just your brain, just something with your brain. That's all it is.
Yeah, we tend to naturalize everything, and look, it's dangerous to say that any mental illness or any sickness or any disease is demonic.
Right.
But it's also equally dangerous to say it never is.
Can it be both and too? Because
it can.
Right? Like,
Of course it can.
Yeah, because the spiritual world can affect us in our bodies and our minds are physical, but they can be affected by the spiritual.
Right. Well,
but that doesn't mean you're possessed or something.
Right. But think about this: epilepsy. Epilepsy is a real medical condition.
True.
That can be treated with medicine, and it's a natural thing. But then there was this young man after the Transfiguration Mountain experience. They came down to the mountain, and he was moonstruck, literally having epileptic symptoms.
Yep.
And it was a demon in that instance.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
Yeah, this is a wild topic when you really are willing to embrace it, and it's so easy to get into charismaniac goofiness. And as a Pentecostal, I'm allowed to say Pentecostals, many of them go off the rails and lose their cotton picking minds and end up going all Bethel and sideways. And yeah, I said it. Sorry, Tim, if you want to edit it. Well, you can't edit this out. This is live. But
it's okay. Yeah. But, so I got a question though. Or are you going to say something?
Just before you go, dude. Let me just add something to that though. You then have people in my camp, the Reform camp, that do the opposite. We under spiritualize everything. Nothing spiritual.
Right.
There's always a naturalistic explanation. Now, not everyone in my camp does that, but the majority, and that's a big error as well.
Yeah.
My question actually had to do with, I thought you did a video, and I need to watch it, but it was about a Bible that you said is Pentecostal. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I've actually done several videos trying to promote balanced Pentecostal study Bibles. The Fire Bible is one that I consider. Now, when I say balanced, I mean balanced doctrinally, from a Pentecostal singular perspective. It's not going to be balanced like evangelically. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
In other words, it's not going to be balanced for the Baptist or balanced for the Lutheran, but it's going to be balanced from this is like a real Pentecostal perspective. It's just like the RSV Ignatius Study Bible. That's a balanced Catholic Bible. It's got explicit Catholic bias, but at least it's accurate for their views. So the Fire Bible is one that's very accurate, but I reviewed another one called the Spiritual Warfare Bible, and that is 100% absolute wackiness. It's insane that thing it exists, and it's embarrassing to read the commentary and read the goofy things to where they list everything as a demon. It's like they go, every sickness, there's a demon, and it's frustrating. There's also the Spirit-Filled Life Bible with Jack Hayford that I think has a pretty balanced Pentecostal view. And then there's the new one, the Enduring Word Bible. That one has more of a Reformed Pentecostal view, so that one's really nice as well. So there's some good, solid, balanced Pentecostal stuff out there, but there's also some wacky stuff. And unfortunately, a lot of it's in the Pentecostal circle.
Yeah. I think there was one that you just did, right? And maybe you already mentioned it, but you said something about it being like the best. Was that right?
That's the Fire
Um,
Bible, also known as the Life and the Spirit Bible from Thomas Nelson. See, Pentecostals are confusing, so we decided to make our study Bible confusing too. We started off calling it the Full Life Study Bible, and then got it got moved to Zondervan, then Thomas Nelson, and it became the Life and the Spirit Bible to kind of make it not as abrasive sounding as the Full Life Study Bible. And then Hendrickson kind of took over publishing rights, and then Life Publishers, which was originally Gospel Publishing House, which is the Assemblies of God publishing arm, they published it as the Fire Bible, and that's because it had a flame on it, and in China, when they used the Bible, it had a flame on it, so they said, oh, Fire Bible. So that's what they called it. I call it the best, not because I feel like it's the best study Bible.
Okay.
I have maintained for years that
It's the MacArthur Study Bible that you say is the best, right?
Right. Yeah, no bias there at all. The best overall study Bible from a translation standpoint, in my opinion, is the ESV Study Bible. And I know it has some Reformed leanings, but that thing gives you a lot of fair positions.
Yeah.
It'll give you its own position, much like the Baker Illustrated Study Bible. It'll give you very fair positions on. It gives everyone a fair shake, and then it gives their own position. The Fire Bible does not do that. It's like, this is what this text means. This is, and it's from a singular Assembly of God vein Pentecostal perspective. So it's the best in the sense that if you want a Pentecostal study Bible, it's the one I trust, but it's not the best in a whole evangelical framework sense, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
now let's go back. Well, hang on. You're going to go a question, so I'll let you finish first, and then I'll say what I'll say.
I was going to kind of steer back to Heiser. I was just curious.
Oh, good, because that's where I was going to go as well.
I was going to ask Tim Nichols, because he's a pastor. You mentioned Heiser. We can credit him with helping to focus on spiritual things, but also we can credit him with causing some confusion. Mm-hmm. So as a pastor, do you recommend him or not to people?
You know how sausage is made? It goes through a grinder.
Right.
I'm the grinder.
Okay.
I'm the one that will read Michael Heiser's material and then grind it through my theological lens.
Yep.
Get clarity on it, and then teach it to the people. So I credit him. I will, like in our Bible Institute with our Bible students, I will bring up Michael Heiser, and I will always tell them, now, here's some problematic things with him that you need to be careful of. But from a congregational standpoint, no, I'm not going to have his books in the bookstore. I don't think that his beliefs are dangerous from a salvation sense. I just think that they could, as you were talking about earlier, Layman, that when we talk about the Trinity and beginning to use models to explain it, you can actually get yourself confused and then confuse your audience and get them off track when that's not even your intent. You're just trying to explain something unexplainable. And I think the invisible world, we have a lot of information about it, but we don't have all the information about it.
That's right.
So, like we have a lot of information about salvation, and that's something we can preach definitively. But on the invisible world, there's just so many things we don't know. So we have to tread super carefully in that area that we don't lead into error.
And I think that's why. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
No, you didn't.
I was just going to say, I think that's why Heiser, he had such a love for the Deuteronomy 32 worldview, because he thought it was something, that the Western Church in particular had largely abandoned. And because of that, I think he went into some areas where he definitely stepped over the line.
Yeah.
So, for example, I did a video recently on demons on my channel. It was months in the making because I wanted to make sure that I did it justice. I included a few testimonies of people as well. But one of the things that I pointed out was a lot of people think that demons don't show up until the New Testament, as where the Old Testament's replete with demons, like you even name some of them.
Yeah.
Now, the Hebrew word shadim is also used for what can be those like nefarious spirits as well. But one that's mentioned in Scripture, and you just mentioned, is Azazel. Now, where else do you see this Azazel character outside the Bible? The Book of Enoch, especially First Enoch. And Azazel is one of these chief fallen watchers. Now, not fallen angels, but
I'm
they're
sorry,
watchers.
Wild Smith. I drug you in this. Or not Wild Smith, Frisch. I got my Tims confused.
Hey, He's good for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
this whole idea that Azazel was one of these chief watchers, and he's the one that is credited for really corrupting mankind. He
Mhm.
taught them pharmacology, he taught them warfare, all this
The
sort of stuff.
scapegoat.
Heiser points exactly,
Yeah.
and Heiser is pointing out that that material is what he believes that the biblical author of Scripture used to draw upon for that passage. But like you also said, the danger then goes into what do we read into that and what doctrine could you or should you not develop from that.
Right.
But that's the thing, that's what excites a lot of people because our human nature is so prone to, like as you said, we could talk about salvation all day, we've got plenty of material on it. That doesn't excite us at times as much as the speculation of like, oh, I wonder what Israel was dealing with over here. It's that type of stuff that you need to be very careful of.
Yeah.
And that's where I would say, yeah, Heiser unfortunately was so sloppy. I think
Yeah.
he like Colton even shared a testimony there last week about a family got a really corrupt view of the Trinity from Heiser.
Hmm.
Like it's
Yeah.
sad, but it seems to be the consistent testimony.
Right. Well, and the thing is, the whole Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and 11, I'm not prepped for this, so I don't have, I'm just going off the top of my head, where it says that when we offer to idols, we're sacrificing to demons and not to God. Most people don't realize that's quoted from Deuteronomy 32. So there were
Yep.
absolutely demons in the, I think it's 32:18, if I remember correctly. There were absolutely demons mentioned in the Old Testament because it says they sacrificed to demons and not to God. So these
Yep.
entities that they made these images to, that they worshiped, they weren't just empty figures. When God was saying, you know, your idols aren't living, they can't breathe, he was talking about the thing that was made. He was not talking about the spiritual force that was backing that thing.
And just a side note on that as well, you're right with that, but I would go even further. The language of they're deaf, they're blind, you know, they're mute. That's in reference to him as well. In contrast to him, these are mute, deaf. They don't see in comparison to me.
Right.
But he was not teaching that there's not very real, very dangerous powers behind these idols that the nations pray to. That
Right.
is why whenever you read Deuteronomy 32, that you see that the nations after Babel get apportioned out according to the sons of God. Now, some translations read Israel, but that's where that worldview comes from, the sons of God. And what was
Yeah.
the point? God took Israel as his own nation to be his priest. He gave the rest of the nations to these sons of God.
Yeah.
So that's where that worldview comes from. And I think a lot of people get tripped up over that.
Right. Well, and number one, that has the Dead Sea Scrolls Hebrew backing it, the Deuteronomy 32:8 sons of God view, and also the Septuagint backs it as well. So there's significant, but there's a reason that these more modern translations are going with sons of God because the evidence points that way. But
Yep.
man, what a fascinating topic. And to your point, where God is saying they don't hear, they're deaf, they don't see, it's in comparison to himself. There are many times. How many times do you see God say that I am God and there is no other? He's not saying
Yep.
he's the only invisible Elohim that exists. He's just saying there's nothing
Yep.
like me. I'm the only uncreated
No.
one. I'm the only, yeah. So we're still
Bingo.
very
Because no,
monotheistic.
bang on. I was just going to add on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because one of the challenges that God gives to these false idols. Now, why would you give a challenge to a false idol if it had nothing truly behind it?
Right.
One of the challenges, declare to me the future. If you were there from the beginning, declare to me the future what will be. The only one that can do that is the true Elohim, the true God. These idols can't do it because in comparison to him, they are dead, as where he is the living God.
Yeah.
But sadly, our Western mind has took that and rendered that just purely to the carved image. Now, the carved image is a part of it, I agree. But it's not just purely a carved image. There is a force behind it, and that's what Scripture consistently says. That's why Paul says, I don't want you to become partakers of the table of demons. Well, if it's just an empty idol, how are you becoming a partaker of the table of demons?
Yeah. And they put holes in the demon, or in the little idol butts so the demons could get in. There's a free one for you.
Just wanted to acknowledge some of the comments. One is from our token Wesleyan. Tony said he just grabbed a copy of Wesley's explanatory note on Genesis 1:26. which says the three persons of the Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, consult about it and concur in it, because man, when he was made, was to be dedicated and devoted to the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. So Wesley said that it is Trinitarian, is what Tony is pointing out there. And then
I would agree that it's Trinitarian in language, but I wouldn't die on that hill.
okay. And then Seeley said, in reference to one of the things we were talking about, she said, I don't think that even with actual mental health issues, or I do think that even with actual mental health issues, demonic entities can play off it and use it against someone.
100%.
Of course they can.
100%. And the thing is, they can take what's naturally going on in a person chemically or medically and jump on that train if they're given access and make it worse. But they can also mimic the same symptoms as well, even because there was no medical treatment for the woman with the issue of blood. I'm not saying she had a demon, but I'm just saying there's medical mysteries that we don't understand. And it seems that the moonstruck guy, there was no cure for him. I tell you, puzzling is the woman with the spirit of infirmity that was bent over. And called her a daughter of Abraham, but yet there was a spirit cast out of her. That's a hard passage to work with. That's a hard one to, and I don't believe that believers can be demon possessed at all. But and I don't know what condition that woman was in. I just know she was called a daughter of Abraham, and she had a spirit of infirmity, and it was a spiritual thing. And it's like, what do you do with that passage? That's a wild one.
Yeah, I don't have a set position in this, but there's a couple of places you could go with that. The daughter of Abraham could just be reference to the ethnicity. She was a Jew.
Correct.
The other aspect is she's a true believer, but she could be demonically oppressed, because I don't believe true believers can be possessed either.
Yeah.
Now, what does it look like for us to know how a demon would oppress someone into having, bent over in a certain... We don't know. That's the point.
Right.
That's why we can't formulate doctrine on this.
Right.
But at the same time, we can't throw it out and dismiss it and go, oh no, demons can't do that.
Right.
Who are we to know what demons can and can't do?
Yeah, and I would agree with you on that it's addressing her ethnicity, or at least her lineage, which I guess would be the same
her
thing.
heritage.
Yeah, her heritage. But clearly, there's a demonic force that's contributing to this condition. And I usually interpret that, and I'm always like, look, I am not being adamant about this, but I don't think this woman was demon possessed. I think she was demon oppressed. But as you mentioned earlier, how does that look when deliverance occurs? If someone's demon possessed or if they're oppressed, how different does that look? Does it look very different at all? I can't fully answer that. And is demonic activity, is there a spectrum there to where someone has zero demonic activity in their life to where they're fully demon possessed, and is there anything in between those ranges?
I don't know how it looks, but one of my favorite scenes in any movie is in the Lord of the Rings when the king, I can't remember where it is, but you know what I'm talking about, is being possessed, inhabited, and Gandalf delivers him.
King of the Rohan.
Yeah, that scene is amazing. That scene is amazing. It is a good picture though of deliverance. How God can deliver us. Yeah.
But that's the extreme. That's the one where the person was possessed. Was this woman with the spirit of infirmity fully possessed?
No, I don't know.
And how different does it look if a demon is attacking someone when they get set free? What's the level of violence that occurs based on the level of demonic activity? This is a fascinating topic, and you can get off the rails quick.
Yeah, and I think that I mean, I'm sure people might have different opinions on some of the specifics, but I would say in a general sense that, oh, by the way, this is really interesting. You have here, just for people to note, that I'm a Baptist, and we've got Layman, who's Protestant, Presbyterian, and Nichols, who is Pentecostal, and we're in large agreement here about all these things. So this is pretty cool.
The divide between denominations is generally pretty small. It usually
But can be
hinges
heated,
on
for sure.
one or two. It can get very heated, but see, here's the thing. Arguments get heated when someone unintelligent gets in the argument.
Yeah.
When you have a high level of intelligence and you have a high level of confidence, you can handle someone disagreeing with you. Also, you have to have a healthy level of, I may not have this 100% right.
Yep.
I don't know that I've got this
Oh,
fully
such
figured
as
out.
humility? Is it like,
Yeah, right.
yeah, yeah,
But anyhow, I got about 4 minutes left, and I got to
yeah,
head off to church. But I
yeah,
definitely wanted to jump in on this. I can't
yeah.
believe you pulled
Glad
me
you
in. I
did.
was just kidding. So
Glad
here
you
we
did.
are. How
Well,
this happened.
look, why don't we do this again in the future? Because I think the audience would enjoy this. Why don't we maybe delve into this topic more in depth in the future? You have more time to prepare. We can talk about angels, demons, all that sort of stuff. Because I actually think the audience would really benefit from that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Very good. Thanks, Nichols, for
Yep.
hopping on today. Good
Hey,
input.
is that my hat that I gave you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Still wearing
Sweet.
it. Yes. Thank
Sweet.
you.
All right, y'all. Goodbye. Have a great day. Thanks for having
God
me on.
bless, bro.
Thank you. See?
Yeah.
Get
No,
the
I think. Sorry.
I was just going to say, get the Pentecostal on to give us some viewpoints about the spiritual world.
That's what I say. I think that'll be beneficial for the audience because I got a lot of feedback from like it only went up the other day, so like there's not a ton of comments on YouTube, but like I've had XDMs about it. People on Instagram have messaged. That's one thing I don't get. Like, comment on the video. It helps the video more. I know you maybe want to speak to me and say how it helped or whatever, but comment on the video. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But that video, a lot of people from across, like I had Roman Catholics commenting, Eastern Orthodox, Protestants, and every single one of them, evangelicals, every single one of them were like, why does no one talk about this anymore? And it's in our Western view. We downplay it or we don't want to talk about it. And again, here's where we have to be careful. Nichols said this himself too. You can't speak in this so definitively that you're like, this is 100% the way it is. Because here's the thing, we don't have all the information. Even what we do have in the New Testament, that is descriptive. That's descriptive of that particular case. Every case of possession or oppression may not look the same. Now, should there be some other signs and stuff? Yeah, I would say there is. And look, you normally get this more from Roman Catholics because they have like an entire ministry dedicated to exorcism. But here's where I will give Roman Catholics their credit. Do you see whenever you listen to Vatican priests that are assigned to exorcism, the absolute rigmarole that they have to go through to even get to a stage where they'd be willing to do an exorcism is extensive. And that's actually been a complaint that's been made against the Vatican on more than one occasion because they make the person go through a psychological test, a psychiatric test, a medical test. Then and only then do they start doing their own little tests. So, and I'm not saying whether there's any truth to this or not. I'm just saying from their paradigm, this is how this works. You will hear exorcists constantly talk about how they will flick a tiny bit of holy water on the back of the person's jacket. Because why the back of the jacket? Well, if you're just a human, you're not going to feel a speck of water hitting your jacket. But if there's something evil within you and something holy touches it, it reacts. That's why they often say whenever they do that, one of the sure signs is aversion to holy objects. Now, again, that's not me arguing for the truth of, Roman Catholicism, exorcists or whatever. I'm just saying from their paradigm, that is what they do. So the one thing that we can never do is say, oh, they just do exorcisms willy-nilly. Nick says, thanks for letting me crash the party. No, I loved it. Anytime, bro.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, like that's the idea. We shouldn't be so sensational that we believe every story, but we also shouldn't dismiss things because again, if you go out to any country in the East, especially Africa, and you say, oh, that person's demon possessed, the majority of the people in that area will be like, okay, staying away from that person. Why? Because they believe in possession, because they've seen things. We have the opposite problem over here. I think demons they play the field very well. So in places like Africa and other Eastern countries and Southern countries, whatever way you want to look at it, they show up more in physical manifestations because they know it scares the people. over here, it's not that we wouldn't be scared of it, but we're so prone to rationalizing it that I think that's what demons actually play on more. Oh, these idiots will explain it away. They'll not really talk about it. Therefore, the
And
majority of stuff.
even when we see it, it's interesting. What came to my mind is that I've heard of medical terminology that is like demon possession disorder. We'll just relabel it because we have such a medicinal, like a Western medicinal framework by which to understand everything, that will, even if we see it, we'll just come up, just like I said, it's not to say that there's no such thing as mental health, but everything is relegated to that. Everything. No matter what it is, it's mental health now. And it's like, there's a spiritual aspect to life. It's not just your brain.
Nope. And as I say, if people, this is not just a plug for my video, but if you do check out my video, a couple of sources I cite in there. Not going to go through them all right now, but there's one psychiatrist in particular. He was not a believer, wasn't a Christian. He ended up doing so many, being involved in so many cases where he came to it and said there is no medical explanation for this, but what I do see recorded in the Bible, it seems to fit.
Yeah.
So he actually converted on the basis of that, and he now has a more full-time ministry. Then there's a colleague of his. He was not just a secularist, but he is 100% against Christianity. To this day, he is still not a Christian, but he actually said that there is cases that they examine that, in his words, defy naturalism. There's no medicinal cause that causes these symptoms. Now, he's hesitant to land on Christianity, but he believes that there is an actual spiritual dimension happening, and I think they're bang on.
Well, I just wanted to throw out to, I don't know if Colton's still around. He probably left, but
He may be.
If Colton wants to come on sometime and talk about, I'd like to hear his perspective as well on some of these
Absolutely.
some of these issues, and we have other guests too that we'll try to get on. But
so
we had 2 guests today, our planned one and a surprise one.
Yeah. And again, in the future, whenever you're ready, I forget which topic it was you wanted a Roman Catholic and an Eastern Orthodox on for, but there's the Orthodox Philip, and then there's the other friend of mine, blue collar Bible scholar. He'd be willing to come on as well. So, but I forget what topic that was for.
And you're asking me to remember? You know how my
Well,
memory
yeah,
is.
that's dangerous, but the audience might know. There was something we discussed having them on for anyway. I can't remember.
Well, there's plenty to talk about there, right? If we do have them on.
Yep.
Yeah. That would be interesting. All right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up here. I want to thank everybody for your input in the comments, and great discussion today that we've had.
And don't go and get so enamored with researching demons, because that can be dangerous, by the way. So be cautious. No, I say that 100% real.
No,
like,
I know.
Be cautious, yeah.
I know, because like we've been saying today, you can go one extreme or the other, and you need to be very balanced. And
it's
I would say, just as you read through the scripture, keep the balance you see in scripture. The Bible doesn't say that there's a demon for every little experience in life. That's not how the Bible explains it. It doesn't say we need to go searching for demonic explanations for every little thing, but it does acknowledge the reality and presence of demons. And so we also shouldn't deny that. And that's all we're saying is let's incorporate everything that the scripture is telling us to.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll, I guess, plan to be here same time as normal next week.
Yep.
And we'll be right on the eve of your, or I don't know literally, but we'll be right close to the launch of your book too.
Yeah, June 5th.
So yeah, we'll talk more about that too next week. All right. We'll let everybody go and plan to see you next week.
Sounds good. God bless, guys. And ladies.